All right, ladies and gents, welcome to a full best of five Wandering Warriors Cup here. Hold on, we're an official streamer, man. We've got to make sure it's official. Boom, we got that tiny little image. That was important. Sorry for the blinking. Welcome. We have a best of five, and we have the fifth seed, and I know people are going to complain about it. They want the seed in Capoch against the 12th seed in BacT. Both players have made it here, so obviously they lived up to their seed's reputations, and they are really, really, really close. Okay? So in the blue, we've got Capoch from Argentina playing as the Italians. In the red, we have Lithuanians for BacT from Vietnam. And okay, this is going to be a really, really interesting one, okay? So right now, you have Capoch going off the dock over here. And then BacT is sending a villager over to this side as well. So far, it looks like the players are going to be really close together. And their docks are going to be really close together as well. And we'll have to see if they figure that out and how they choose to adapt. Like, look at this. BacT is looking for a shorefish. Normally you want to dock next to a shorefish because you can drop off the food. And there, look, he sees that house. And so I think there's an opportunity coming up here where BacT might consider getting loom maybe in like 3 minutes and sending this villager down here to attack this one. He should know if there's a house next to the shoreline, because you see what he's doing, that the enemy is here. The TC goes up a little bit faster for Capoch. Capoch scouting around right now with his cow, finding some stone, finding some berries. But he does not know the enemy is here. But it feels like if he doesn't find another gold, it's going to be a big issue for him. He does actually have a gold here. Might be tempted to run over to this one. A few things. First off, I want to say thanks. I should have said this at the very start of this game. Thanks to everyone who's been showing up. Specifically to the live stream over the last couple weeks. Thank you guys so much. Having switched platforms, a lot of you guys weren't aware at times. Maybe you were aware and just didn't have the motivation to make the switch and show up. I haven't been perfect, but I've just been putting in my best effort to cast and have a good time, and hopefully this has been an entertaining tourney for you guys. I went to Microsoft. I wanted to do an event in January. Dave and I had talked about doing something, and oh god, BacT could lose his villager. I think he's going to end up being fine. I think he should be able to save her. And anyways, we ended up making it happen. It's been good so far, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy. But specifically, thank you guys for the positivity you've given me over the past couple months. And yeah, look at this. Okay, so BacT is actually showing Capoch now that they're docked in the same spot because he's stealing the fish, which is kind of cheeky because he's got this. But maybe he wants to save the salmon for himself. But I'm telling you, because the standard is to have villagers next to the docks, if one of these players were to research loom, they could go over and they could try and attack. This is a pretty wild start. I mean, you've got a lot of other stuff over here, right? You've got gold, you've got stone, you've got resources. There's even this narrow little crossing here. But, I just don't know if that's going to be all that useful. Feels like BacT could maybe do that. It's going to be tough for Capoch to expand that way. Capoch could maybe expand this way. All right. What day should I play to have a good chance of being at Lowy the Legends? Tuesdays, my friend. Tuesdays. All right, so 13 out of 15 pop for BacT. He does have the lead right now. He did start with extra food in the bank. Lithuanians and Italians, we just said before the series, picked an awful lot in this tourney. Italians are great for any map where you need to compete for water. You have quite a few of those. And yeah, this is what I'd mentioned. At BacT, honestly, just placed the palisade walls to block the shorefish, which is kind of funny. Those palisade walls don't do anything. I mean, I guess Capoch didn't realize that there was no loom for BacT, because he could have actually won that fight. He tried to go for a cheeky wall in. And anyways, BacT is going to protect his villager. I have to pay attention to her, actually. And here comes a vill from BacT just to get the boar. And she is just sitting here with a house. So, I mean, she might end up being important to Capoch's plans later on. We'll see if he'll plan on anything specific. It does feel like he maybe lost a sheep or a cow here, right? It feels like the scouting just stopped. So I think it's very possible he knows that's where the TC is for BacT. And as for BacT, I think BacT the same. Yeah, you can clearly see he lost something over here. Okay, so they both know where they're docked. They also are well aware of where the TCs are. And I think where this villager becomes important for Capoch is if he can go over this crossing here and get another dock down here somewhere. You can see all the plentiful fish. For BacT, that's going to be a bit of an issue. He'd have to go this way, and, you know, the fish will run out a bit earlier. Italians having the cheaper dock techs plus the cheaper fishing ships just makes them the type of civ to focus a bit more on water, but it will be important here for BacT. And he's going to make a lumber camp, which is eco building number 2. Dock is 1. Lumber camp is 2, which means he now can use the buildings to go up. Oh, this is going to be satisfying. Watch this. He's going to drop off his food. Woo! Wow, what a build. What a build. Finishes the boar, has the food. You can see now transferring a lot over to wood. Also has plenty of food underneath his TC with the deer and the cows. And he could always take the gold as well, which is expected. There he goes. Villagers on gold for Capoch. Difference in approach, though. Capoch actually didn't make a lumber camp. So he will have to spend an additional 100 wood for a lumber camp. And then, of course, get the eco upgrades. So I think, in theory, the eco layout right now looks a little better for BacT. And still not seeing that villager. Where'd she go? Oh, wow. Okay, so BacT has actually come down here. So they're both docking down here. So, man, this is close. Both with the same population, both with different civs, of course. But very similar openings here. We're going to see a lot of fires and a lot of demos. Again, I would personally prefer Capoch's position because his fish are more plentiful right now, and he can move them down here easily. Whereas for BacT, he kind of has to cross over 2 enemy docks to do that. You hope Entertainment wins today. I think Entertainment will win today. Wow, we have a BacT from... Okay, we have a barracks from BacT. I'm sorry. We don't have a BacT from BacT. It made so much sense in my mind. And he's going to open with galleys here, guys. Something we've seen semi-frequent here in WWC. And I think it's really, really hard to open galleys and win the water here in this position. However, if you open galleys, galleys do take out fishing ships faster. So you could just sandwich Capoch and take out all of his fish. And then focus on land. And look at this. Capoch doesn't see the barracks. And then you have BacT, and BacT doesn't see the barracks. So both players are going for a barracks. Maybe thinking about archers or something, seeing as the players are so close. Okay, here come those galleys. Being faster to the next stage definitely helps, and this is all BacT's going to do. He's opened double galley. He's now going demo, and he's going fire. So he's going galleys to snipe the fish. He's got 1. He's going to get 2. Now, for Capoch, you can make more of them rather cheaply with Italians, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's certainly not fun to lose this many fishing ships, and he will lose them as he's actually blocking with the fishing ships to keep the galleys from escaping. There's a fire galley coming out down here. You've got to think BacT is going to get away. Maybe he'll do a little loop-de-loop here, and as he will hope to go for a repair. Here comes the demo, though. I mean, the demo could clear up the rest of the fish, or you want to use it on a fire. And yeah, Capoch notices this, and BacT will use the demo, and he takes out a fishing ship, but I mean... Not sure if the demo did much. I think the galleys in their opening really is what made the difference. Here you've got a spearman from BacT, and this is where you'll see a lot of focus. Keep in mind that BacT's fishing ships are still working. So he's still got all of his fish, though it's not very efficient. It's rather weird to see spearman, but yeah, he's on spearman. As he brought in another boar. I think he's brought in 2 boars more than Capoch in this game. And it was almost like BacT was thinking, I'm going to go... for feudal age pressure, and now he's thinking I might go fast castle off this. But Capoch could always add a few more fishing ships if he feels like he ever wins water. It won't be easy though. You know, BacT is always going to be threatening down here. And there we have an archer, and this is where BacT is thinking, oh god, I've got to get up to the next stage quickly here. And I think, guys, I wish I would have been able to focus on it, but again, I think he brought in 2 additional boars. Like, every time I look at his TC, he'd have a boar. That's 340 food, bringing in enough food to go castle age here. And there he goes stable. Now he'll go blacksmith. He has gold. And for the time being, at least, I think he will run out, but for the time being, at least, he's going to have enough food. Might not be able to comfortably take his berries, but it looks like Capoch is focused on winning water. He's focused on maybe adding a few more fishing ships. So Capoch is going to take the lead economically, but Capoch will be in feudal age. And we've seen faster castle ages make a big, big difference in this tourney. And BacT kind of realizes the situation now. So he's going to try and wall this up, just so this back area of his eco is protected. And, you know, you start to see the villagers walling. For Capoch, this is his time. It's 10 military versus 0, right? So he's going to make something work here. And this is honestly a really big deal. It might seem like it's not a big deal, but if BacT would have had the walls down here, then this wouldn't have been a concern. But he will lose that villager. And now this area has to be protected as well. It's still really annoying. Now, if I'm Capoch, you still have this villager. At this point, you've completely won water. I think you pull this vill, and you redock down here. You redock so you can access a little more fish. And then I also would market here. I think I would try and get a few more villagers to golds. And I would get a market up because you kind of sense that BacT has to be on the way up to the next stage. What you want to do is accomplish that yourself, as we see 2 scouts here. No upgrades yet for BacT. It's interesting. He's still going to go in here. 2 archers, 2 skirms. And he makes the scouts, and he will kill the archer. He'll kill the next archer. The skirms will then go down. And BacT with the nifty moves. Yep, he's like, you will not escape. I think they would have died anyways, but nice job there from BacT. So the natural move here feels like a monastery siege workshop opening. Make a knight. There's the siege workshop. I'd love to see the monastery because you can get +1 attack on your knights per relics. And you see a relic here. And you see a relic here. There's that siege workshop. And Capoch can see all of his. It's just like, can he stop it? Look at the eco difference, guys. He's added so many fishing ships. But again, how efficient is it? And how important is winning water when the players are so close? He does just kill a villager, though. There's a tower now for Capoch. BacT is going to see that. He will also see that there's a mining camp on stone. So, Capoch may be expecting the need to go for additional towers, or maybe even a castle drop in this matchup would be good. And BacT looking around here. He looked around with the scouts. Now he comes in with the knight, looking to find damage. And this is such a good move. Such a good move. Such a great area for him to find. Still no upgrades. He's going to be able to get a kill and hopefully run away so he can save the knight, maybe heal it up in a bit. Here comes the siege as well. So yeah, this has the possibility of getting out of hand fast here. It's obviously a good position kind of for both players. One player's in Castle Age with knights and siege. The other player, of course, has all that food eco. But as you see the monks out here too, you're going to see healing, you're going to see conversions, and it just seems like this is going to be so tricky as a spearman gets converted to stop. And this is why I had mentioned market. If you have a market, you could maybe sell and buy some resources to get up. It is cheaper to go up to Castle Age with Italian, so something went wrong for Capoch. And it was full focus on water after losing 5 fishing ships, and then, you know, remember, he didn't bring in as many boars as BacT did. And now you're in this position, if you're Capoch, where you feel you have to produce. You're not going to make it to Castle Age without losing that TC. So you have to produce everything you can. And so he's making spearmen. He's making archers. He's making scouts. He's going to go full Feudal Age against this. And there's only 2 knights in this group right now. And it's got to be something BacT is keeping an eye out for, right? He's thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. TC's actually ranging one of those mangonels, which is an important factor here. And here come the scouts. The archers get rocked, though. And there's actually still spearmen in here, which could help against the scouts. And no way. No way. Okay, so BacT will probably lose one of his mangonels. But I think he's going to destroy this army. 3 mangonels still. No way! All of his mangonels survive. The overall KD is insane for BacT. 25-17. He now has a ram. And Capoch is probably looking at his screen right now like, what? I weakened that one? How did I not finish it off? And it's feudal units, guys. It's just feudal units are really weak against siege. Knights pack a punch. Mangonels pack a punch. And yeah, it's only 7 on food right now. And that's all on berries for BacT. But that's all that he needs because he could finish off this game before he needs any future food eco. Also, has done an exceptional job microing. I probably jinxed him because this knight's going to die. But he's done a really good job microing his units here. Repairing the siege. Pulling back when need be. Pushing forward all the time. Capoch not wanting to resign. But it almost feels like with this type of a position, there's no way back, right? Like, this is going to be the next target here. It's so messy. Game 1 in a tourney, right? So you might just want to take a deep breather here. He's got 16 fishing ships. But I think we've seen that fishing ships maybe are not going to do much for him. Look at this. He's going to go chop wood. So he can try and afford the next TC here. All the while, these villagers don't have any protection. Okay, this is a pretty big thing. BacT, of course, was going all in Castle Age. But I think if Capoch was ever going to make a move, he probably should have gone for some upgrades. Like, right now, he's getting some upgrades, but he was floating resources. And at least he would have been able to take out some of the siege. Like, right now, guys, right now, Capoch is going to take out the siege with scouts. It could have happened before. In fact, if he takes out all of the siege with scouts, this is a really big deal. He now has time. As Capoch was 60 pop, BacT with 50 pop, Capoch takes the score lead. But man, okay, did BacT scout this area? So what's funny is BacT doesn't actually see any of the trees being chopped in the fog of war because he didn't scout those trees. So that's wild. You see how the trees are felled there? You would normally see that in the fog of war. So I actually don't think BacT knows that the villagers are there. Obviously, if he finds them, then he probably wins the game. And Capoch is now going to TC down here. So he's going to TC down here instead. The next push comes in from BacT. This does give BacT quite a bit of time, though, to sort out some of his weak areas of eco. He's still on deer, which I'd love to see. If BacT finds this, it's game over, right? All those villagers die. If BacT doesn't find that, there's a chance for Capoch. Because when the TC completes, Capoch can go up to Castle Age. And then he still has the stone for a castle. This is maybe possible for Capoch, who has a villager over here. So, oh man, I love that dock position. The fishing ships are working nicely. Could also just send some of these fishing ships that are in that area towards this side. No way, dude. BacT just can't find him right now. You know what it is? You know what I think is going to make him find him? I think he's going to go get this relic. That's what I think. I think in a second, BacT is going to go and he's going to look for this relic. It's either that or the villagers, when they chop through to a tree he's scouted, then he should be able to see it in the fog. Okay. This market, man. There we go. The market was so delayed from Capoch. So casual about the market. Finally, he's on his way to Castle Age. Meanwhile, BacT is thinking, like, this guy doesn't have pop. All he has on land is probably a few villagers, and then the rest is fishing ships. But BacT probably feels like he's got this game right now. And I still think there's arguments to say that, you know, he should take this game. But honestly, respect to Capoch for staying in this. Look at this. He's got a scout raid in. He's killed a vill. When you've got that many fishing ships, you know what it can do for you. Again, I'd love to just see constant redocks. There's thousands of food down here. You won't ever need a farm. And okay, wait a second. He's been found. And his Capoch was looking to make a bunch of houses because he's actually popped right now. Now BacT is here. And I don't think BacT will take out the TC before Castle Age comes in. As another attack here from Capoch goes down. Look at the micro. Look at that. Doink! Got him. That was sick micro from Capoch. You also have to consider we're looking at Argentina versus Vietnam. So I don't know what server they're playing on. But I imagine there's probably like 150 ping for both players. Instead of like, you know, if it was 2 European players, having it be pretty low ping. So some of the technical things, like with some of the quick walling you might see. Capoch isn't the biggest quick waller anyways, but those are not going to be something you see as frequently. Well, my concern for BacT right now is that he's underneath a TC with no armor upgrades. Like, that's really sloppy, but I guess he makes it back to heal up. My concern for Capoch is, can he get a castle down? And he's going to drop the castle here, which is something BacT can see. And that is going to mean that BacT loses villagers, but it also doesn't protect these villagers at all. So Capoch, fortunately, has the wood to repair this thing. And fortunately, again, his TC's been able to get some kills. I think that's what's important here, is if his TC can get a few more kills. Do you make transports right now? Honestly, do you make a couple transports and hope to escape with those vills? It honestly feels like the play you have to go for. As we have more knights going down, because BacT probably reacts to this. He didn't react to this, though. We have a TC over here from Capoch. Capoch now making Genoese crossbow, which are insanely strong in this matchup. And Capoch now is about to run out of wood. Repairing a TC costs so many resources. I can understand the the frustration for Capoch, because he probably wanted to get a castle down here. Sorry, Cal. But he never felt like that was possible, you know? Anyways, he's now on stone over here. But I don't think he can afford a mining camp yet because he's low on wood. And truthfully, BacT is just looking at this, and while it's been a little wasteful, he's just thinking, I'm about to kill 15 vills. Like, I just need to stay calm here. I'm about to kill 15 villagers. Again, I think Capoch, as BacT should probably see the villagers running, but he's maybe distracted. Capoch should maybe make a transport ship. It sounds ridiculous, but at least save some of your villagers here. He does allow some of them to die, and he'll have the other ones run, but BacT is looking for them right now. Meanwhile, over here, looks like a monk just went down. You have a lot of stone right now. I don't know why I said Capoch needed a mining camp, by the way. He's got a TC. The Genoese crossbow going to get headshotted here. Big shot, not a headshot. Not too bad. But all these villagers go down. And now at this point, the eco numbers is going to be ahead for BacT. It took a long time to get there. But finally, without fish, BacT takes the lead. Capoch with 25 vills. It's about to go down lower than that. And so it's about to be like 23 vills. It is 56 vills for BacT. And he just needs to defend from another castle drop. I'm telling you, if Capoch gets a castle up here, as he takes out the siege, if Capoch can drop a castle right here, right now, and complete it as another siege weapon rolls in, there's maybe potential here. And the fishing ships are working nicely for him. He's got big wood problems nowadays, so I don't think a redock's possible. We go to Capoch's point of view. Game 1, obviously it's been a wild game. And a game where many people maybe felt like he was dead for a time. And he sees the siege. He's going to micro away from it with his units. That castle's going to go up here. That castle will complete, though he might lose a few vills. Goes up. He garrisons. The siege goes down. And now you've got a castle that is in range of the monastery for Lithuanians. BacT maybe needs to relocate those relics. You've got a castle next to lumberjacks for Lithuanians. Like, BacT needs to completely relocate his economy. And he had just set up shop here. He just added this TC. He just started to do all this. And so I think something to kind of circle back to, and I talk about this a lot, I honestly feel like how game 1 is played, like in terms of messiness versus cleanliness, can affect players in the long term here. And this has been a really messy game, which I think is going to make the rest of the games messy, and I think that benefits Capoch. Throughout the series, I think if it gets messy and crazy, it's better for Capoch. He thrives under chaos a little bit more than BacT does. So, guys, it's 86 pop for 60. Capoch, you know, no access to gold right now, but he's got access to stone. He'll probably want another castle. But he's got some big problems pushing with these Genoese. Like, he's going to need to micro down siege, and there's a lot of siege out there for BacT. Now, this TC will go down for BacT, but he's added another one here. He's also added another one here. And he's got really good vision. So I think he can tell that Capoch is probably primarily on water. And then in this northern area. As we see another TC for Capoch. Honestly, I feel like the play as we... Oh, Capoch. Capoch! He saw it. He runs away. I feel like the play for BacT right now would be redocking. Yeah. Here you go. Redock. Because you're thinking the opponent doesn't have gold, but you know they still probably have fish out there, right? So I think that's probably the way to finish off this game. Obviously, hold against the Genoese. But just add 2 or 3 docks, since you have wood and since you have gold. Granted, he's not collecting gold right now. He should. And, you know, from there, just get 5 to 10 fires out, and then you'll clear up all of his fish. You clear out his fish, the guy's down to 32 eco. Half of his eco, or I guess you could say 2/5 of his eco is fishing ships. Great first game here, though. It was awesome. Hannah, thank you for the 800 stars to spend hours watching your content. Here's some stars as thanks. Hey, thank you. Uh-oh. Oh, great shot. Guys, Genoese crossbowmen have 6 range. A crossbow with Bodcanero would have 7 range. So they're actually really poor, despite their high attack, at taking out siege, like some players can do. I don't know how accustomed you guys are to seeing it, but at a high level, Crossbows and a bit higher number can take out siege with some micro. And Genoese crossbow, really not that type of unit. As we see another castle here. This one might not go up, though. This one might not go up. There's 4 mangonels here. Not to mention there's a monk. Capoch feels like he has to complete this, right? This is before he starts to lose water. He feels like he has to complete this. He ends up bailing on it. He's trying to get out of here. The villagers won't cooperate with each other. Like, where does he even drop the next castle, then? It's not like he's able to hit all of BacT's eco. He doesn't see any gold, either, that he can take. This is such a good castle from BacT, because that stops Capoch from ever running back this way. Look at that. BacT immediately notices that. With monks, he starts to convert light cap. Probably not something you want to do. But still, I commend him for the reaction time. And he gets a conversion there. And oh no, he's going to try and run through the choke point. He does know there's a gold there. And it would have been so funny to see BacT come in here with a demo. Or maybe just quick wall that or something. But anyways, like that TC, man. BacT can see it. I don't see that one going up. Here comes some knights. You also are going to have the water pressure I mentioned happen shortly. And I know it's been messy. I know Capoch has put up a really big fight here to start off the series. But to me, it seems clear as day. BacT is going to take game 1. So I have some interesting stats for you guys as Capoch finally calls it. That was a good first game. That was a really solid first game. Overall, I think going faster castle and sniping fish for BacT was just a much better strategy. And what a unique one too, right? Took out 5 fishing ships, says have fun fish booming because I'm going to take out your TC. But yeah, so I mentioned last weekend in the round of 32 how it was just crazy to me that the players who were winning the first game would lose the series. And so anyways, I asked Christine to look at the data. And 40% of the players who won their series in the round of 32 lost game number 1. Which is a pretty crazy stat. I don't think that's ever really happened in Age of Empires 2 competitively. To have players who won the first game lose that many times. But anyways, so it's just something to think about. As we go to the statistics here real briefly. It is not like we didn't know this already. Capoch having more food because of the fishing ships. And also having, you know, the stone because that's all he had access to. For BacT, he had access to wood. He had access to gold. And, you know, he was catching up with the food eco as he has added farms. Check the south corner of the island, T90. Got a stranded fire ship. South corner. South corner. South corner of the island. Oh, geez. Yeah, there is a fishing ship. It's just caught in the grass. All right. Thanks, DE. That's kind of funny. Can you imagine if that ended up, like, I don't know, someone tried to make a TC here at some point and the fire ship denied it? Well, thankfully that bug didn't play a real role. That's good eye there. Yeah, Marius, focusing on water is a strategy. And we have seen focusing heavily on water be a very good strategy too. But in that instance, it just didn't end up working out. Yo, Ensberg, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Nice to see you in chat. Alrighty, BacT takes the first win. Again, BacT came in. I came into this with BacT as a pretty heavy favorite because BacT played so well in the previous sets. But Capoch out there, you know, hoping to prove me wrong, hoping to prove others wrong. Excuse me. Let's do it though. Game number 2, we're gonna hop in right now. It will be on one of the home maps for Capoch. I guess we should probably glance at that first. He's got Inundation and Compass. Now, if you saw how Capoch liked to play game 1. Compass, at least, suits, I think, how he would want to play it. He wants to just win water with no real fancy stuff, right? Like, he probably doesn't want to play on maps where there's a lot of variation in strat. So he wants to go Compass and go crazy. And he is going to go Compass. He's gone for Chinese, a civ that I think is probably the best Compass civ, and we'll talk about why. And so here we are. All right, so ladies and gents, welcome to game number 2. Best of 5, first best of 5 of the day. We have 4 on this Saturday, and then we'll have 4 on Sunday. Final weekend of this tourney, of course. I'd love for you guys to stop by for it. It's the, is it the 5th and the 6th of February or 6th and 7th? Anyways, the Saturday, that weekend, is 5 quarterfinals. The Sunday is 2 semis, and then also the final. Should be a lot of Age of Empires And we're getting close. We got this weekend, and then we've got next. I mean, that's about all she wrote for WWC. It should be pretty interesting. Now, Chinese, they get 3 additional villagers when their TC's up, okay? The weakness of Chinese is that while their techs are cheap and while they start with more vills, they don't have food in the bank. So the reason I feel that Chinese are arguably the best civilization, or one of the best civilizations for this map, is because you start with 2 fishing ships here. So seeing as you start with 2 fishing ships, you can dock, make your TC, you then have 6 vills, and look at the food, right? Like for BacT, obviously he starts with food in the bank, like every other civilization. So he's going to have more floating food. But the reality is what you want is instant vill production with Chinese. It's really hard to find that, except for maybe this start on Compass. Then you just got to lead, and you try and snowball that advantage into, winning the water in Feudal Age. At least that's what we've seen. Capoch having to get loom now, but that's fairly standard. So we'll find out. Again, there's 4 corners on Compass. You guys have probably seen a few Compass games. There's no real difference to what you'll find. It's just different seasons in the corners. It looks pretty cool. It's comprised of 2 stone areas and 2 gold areas. And the gold areas are normally towards the back. You then also have 2 boars, or in this case, elephants. And that's towards the back as well. A little bit of scouting with some of your herdables that you find is always nice. Capoch is doing that right now. You can find those herdables by scouting with your transport ships, which creates a pretty unique situation. Malay have insane dock vision, and I don't know if it's really the best bonus in the world, but I think it looks really satisfying. So I'll show that to you. They could see the world with that dock, which is always helpful, and then they advance faster to the next stage. Okay. I feel like we used to say BacT. Is it just BacT nowadays? Yeah, so I remember that as well. I don't know when the shift really came in, but there was also that with Velez. For years, I called him Velez. So I don't know when the shifts came in. I think in the case of Velez, he just never really told anyone that in Finnish it's pronounced Velez instead of Velez. And then we had to make a change to distinguish between Valis and Les because there's 2 Finnish players. But yeah, I occasionally will call BacT because it's more of like a classic thing. It's a little bit nostalgic for me to call him that, but for the people talking about it, BacT is pretty much what everyone says nowadays. So I think that certain players in this tourney have practiced enough on Compass to know that Chinese are just stupid strong here. And speaking to Miguel, who played against Doubt last week, he was going into his home maps with Compass, and he wanted to pick Chinese. And Chinese was globally banned in the draft by Doubt. So I think, Doubt and Tato at least seem to know that Chinese are really strong here. Because I think Tato also picked Chinese for his set against Project Belgium, if I'm not mistaken, and he got the win. So, I mean, if Doubt and Tato can be trusted, and I think if you were to trust anyone's preparation, you might want to trust theirs. Chinese are pretty stupid strong here. But what a win it would be for BacT. If BacT could get this victory, he's up against, he's getting a win on the opponent's home map. And with their first picked civilization, I think. Yeah, I love to mention Malay's dock vision. It's so nice, man. It's so satisfying. Look how much you can see. And of course, there's other water bonuses for Malay later on. You could see the whole world here, man. It's not as useful on this map because you can scout the transport ship. But on other maps, having that dock vision is really helpful. All right. Pratik, what's up? He says, hey, P90. What's banned, man? You for calling me P90. The mods, please take care of him. Thank you. You can enjoy the show from your seat in the box. Quick little hockey reference. Mods, I'm kidding. Don't ban him. Don't ban him. Persians are banned. We have no Persians. We have no Malians and no Spanish for the rest of the tourney. Wow, this uptime for BacT is insane. So let's see what he can afford, right? So he's going to have dock number 1, dock number 2. He can't afford a 3rd dock. In the previous game, BacT really liked a galley opening. For Capoch, he's got dock number 2. But I think he's going to be able to justify 3 docks here. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be 3 docked fire galleys against maybe 2 docked galleys. This uptime is only brought into you by Malay and their bonus. Find more Malay in the Rise of Rajas expansion if you have not. Okay, whatever. Yeah, galley opening. The weakness of galleys is you need time to mass them. So the times where I feel like they can be useful is if you're in Feudal Age faster. This definitely is one of those times. Chris, we've seen Japanese picked quite a bit on this map. I think Japanese are also good. But I think with Japanese, they're actually better on something like Houseboat. Or maybe some of the other maps in the map pool than this one. Galleys, typically you're going to want to mass with fletching. Means you need a blacksmith, but here he comes in with 2. Yeah, we will have 3 dock for Capoch. I think Capoch is playing... I don't know if the word too safe is correct. But, you know, he's walling up right now. Feels like a weird time to wall up, you know? Be a little paranoid. Okay, Capoch has had the lead. It doesn't really seem like he's going to have the lead anymore as it tied up now. And 3 docks for BacT. I love how BacT is playing this. Thank God we finally see someone docking back here. If you go galley opening, I swear, the best thing you can do is you can hold the choke with your galleys, make demos here, and then you can send your fish to the back. Also, I love how he used his TC here to threaten those fires. The fires couldn't get in close. I can't believe it, but BacT is the first person implementing my ideas. I'm not sure if that's good or bad with my ideas, but I mentioned it, man. Like, this is the spot where galleys can thrive. If they run in there with fires, there's only a short little opening for them to move through, and then you just bop them with the demo. I would say don't move out now. That's the thing. Definitely don't move out. Here he is with a demo, which might surprise Capoch. Capoch, ooh, gets hit there and gets hit there. Those demos were actually kind of a waste. But the galley's still not working out too horribly for BacT. I think if one of those demos connected a little better, it changes everything here. Let's see if he can save that weak one. Yeah, Capoch thinks twice. He doesn't want to be surrounded and get hit from the back by any demos. And now you do need to push out of here eventually, because you will soon run out of fish, but it just gives you time to mass the galleys. But obviously not bad for Capoch either here. Capoch is now going to go for his own galleys. That's not something you see too frequently. He's going to switch into galleys behind the fires, but he's doing pretty well. He, of course, is walled up, so the opponent can't sneak any villagers. A little town watch for BacT. Does Town Watch increase the vision of the Malay docks? That's all I want to know. Does anyone know? I've never thought about that, because they already have such insane vision. I guess he got it already. Yeah, it does, because he couldn't see the dock before. Sick. Here comes the fires and the galleys. Fletching was a little delayed for BacT. Capoch just smothering BacT at the moment. BacT cannot move out at all. Capoch forgot to make some houses, which definitely slows down his production. Can't produce, can't produce, can't produce. That's the difference between his current military number and, like, 3 or 4 more. This is a really big mistake that he's housed. BacT getting loom. Did make an outpost or 2 here. So he's a little paranoid, you know, just making sure the opponent doesn't sneak. They know they're rather close. And this dock right here is in jeopardy for BacT, as both players are nearing the resources to maybe click up to Castle Age. This is a really good compass game. Neither player has won water. Neither player has lost their fish. It obviously feels like BacT is going to have a little bit less fish in the long term. But still, I mean, a good position for him as he pops out with the demo. Demos really don't make sense now. But I think he didn't want to lose his dock. Because they're both on 3 dock production, but BacT is about to lose one. So BacT might need to make another dock here. That or force some engagements. If some compass games, and I've said this for the last 2 weeks, I think due to the lack of practice and the lack of execution, I think some compass games would end rather early. But I truly feel like, and we've seen examples of it, think Tato, Project Belgium, and some of the other sets we've seen really feel like when we get the best players, and this should be that round, right? The round of 16, we're going to have games snowball towards Castle Age. We will have some booming. It won't just be water. Maybe I should knock on wood here because this one could still turn into that. And all these four corners are going to matter, right? And it's going to go long, it's going to go late, and it's going to get crazy. And you see the fires not really offering too much for BacT. It's actually 13 galleys for both players right now, which is sick. BacT using the market to buy some res to go up. He even sold a little bit of stone. And he clicks up to Castle Age, and this is important because he advances faster to the next age. If there was ever a time for Capoch to want to take engagements, as he's about to click up as well, this would be it. Because otherwise, you know, he's going to have a minute where he needs to run away. And in that minute, BacT could do a lot of damage. Now, what BacT has not done is he's not preserved any of his stone count for TCs. He made 2 outposts, which cost 10 stone total. And now he sold 100 stone, so he could buy some res. So he's really banking on winning water. But he's not banking on making a TC, so we'll have to keep an eye on if he buys the stone back. I would like to see him just get 1 villager and collect 10 stone. Just so we can at least get a second town center up. But of course, they're really focused on the galley micro. Man, isn't galley micro so much more fun to watch than just freaking fires and demos? It's so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. But don't get me on my soapbox about that. Like, oh, someone just had a really good moment on water. But wait, the demo ship pops out and it gets hits on 4 fires, and the person who's being aggressive gets punished. I love galley micro. Here comes BacT. He doesn't have the resources for upgrades, guys. He's in Castle Age, but he doesn't have the resources for his upgrades. So he's kind of at the limit. Whereas if you look at Capoch, Capoch has really good resources. Speaking of demos, maybe a demo in this dock. How cool would that be? And then you run back here and you trap him. Bloodlines right now for Capoch. Yo, Capoch is going to sneak. And the outpost should pay off for BacT. We're going to see a stable here for Capoch. And he already researched Bloodline, so he wants to send knights in. Now he's also getting his water upgrades right now. Capoch has played this really well. And BacT, of course, needs to pounce, but it feels like the numbers are going to be even on water. If anything, Capoch is going to have more. Now this has been noticed, but I think BacT misclicked. He tried to click the Vil, but he clicked the stable foundation instead. So that's going to go up, and I think BacT needs a monastery right now. He needs to get some monks out there so we can convert any knights that come out, because he's already going to be focusing heavily on water. He does have the stone now for a TC, so maybe he drops a TC instead. But obviously he's got to be worried about that. And okay, there's the TC. I think that's fine. I think adding the TC is fine, but it would be really nice to get monks. Here we have the engagement. From my point of view, it looks like BacT is going to get overwhelmed. He's, of course, investing into the TC, so he doesn't have the wood. And he's building the TC with all of his gold miners. So he doesn't have wood. He doesn't now have gold to make more on water. And one stable changed so much here. And Capoch has taken the lead now on water. And BacT actually still needs to take his gold. Like, I wonder if Capoch is thinking about that. That even if he loses the knights, BacT won't be on gold. And obviously it doesn't end there, right? You still have the knight that's running around. So BacT has to quick wall. Capoch should, in theory, be able to just continue to produce on water. That stable distraction has paid off for him. But good micro from BacT. Look at that. Dodging the shots, back and forth. There's some weak ones in there for Capoch. If BacT can whittle those down, maybe there's a chance. I'm impressed with the quick walling here from BacT, though. I'm impressed. Capoch trying to break through right now. There is the monastery, but it hasn't completed yet. The villager's even there. Capoch, of course, still focusing on water. BacT pulls him back into this little choke. But still Capoch with a slight lead on water. Still Capoch snowballing that. And I honestly feel like BacT would have been fine on water if it wasn't for that stable. Him having to place a TC was minus 275 wood. And then he had to pull all of his vills off gold temporarily. So it was just enough. It's not like Capoch is completely dominating on water. But it was just enough for Capoch to gain the lead. And now he's on 2 TCs at home. So he can gain a bit of a Vil lead. And he doesn't need to finish the game with this attack. He just got a big lead so he can take the game a bit later. Oh, man. And there was an overchop, and Capoch noticed it. There's an overchop on the wood line. He was looking for that. He found it. And so he's killed one Vil. I mean, he's done a lot of damage to the fishing ships as well, of course. And okay, now for BacT, it's going to be tough to recover from this. Now, I do think there's a potential argument. And I might be stretching it. We'll see if he gets a conversion. He should. There you go. Tries to save the monk with the gate. Ends up losing the monk, but takes out all the knights. There's a potential argument for BacT to make a demo and a few fires here. Because Capoch might switch off into a land boom. He's going to add a TC in the north now, which I really like. This is where Capoch will start to get eco upgrades, like his farm upgrade, hopefully, his wood upgrade. And he might, keyword might, just stop producing as much on water. And if that happens, maybe some fires and maybe some demos could do something. But, you know, the whole time I've been saying this, he hasn't really fully stopped production. He's still got 12 of these things, and it's just a risky spot for BacT to be in right now. Because, again, you've got another knight coming in. Conversion attempt there for BacT. He doesn't get it, which is unfortunate. But Capoch kind of mismicroed here in the meantime. And BacT might actually be back on water here, guys. I really should highlight that moment. I don't know if my highlighting's working nowadays. But it reminds me after the game, because that was some sick micro from BacT. Basically, what he did was he noticed which galley was being attacked, and he pulled it back, which is why Capoch's units kind of followed into the other shots. And now Capoch is like, oh god, is he coming back on water? What's going on here? Monk gets conversion. It's sad, though, because Capoch keeps sniping the monks, right? So it's still not great. But it's better than nothing. Yeah, so BacT's way back into this is gaining a foothold on water because he's behind in eco. For Capoch, it's not the end of the world. If you end up losing water, you have eco, so you could maybe castle drop the shoreline. You know, you could do a lot of different things, right? You could even still try a land push right now. He's got stable from home even producing. But obviously, Capoch should just try and maintain his numbers on water, which would be good. He's kind of doing that right now. 3 TCs pumping. Capoch's looking clean right now. Looking really clean. I mean, he fought back from a really rough position in game 1, too. You have to think about that. He stayed in that game for a bit. Would it be possible to produce enough Navy to distract Capoch while producing knights? Or is the eco not there? No, he's got 3. He's got 3 on food. The eco is definitely not there. This is, like, he's constantly... The other thing is, even if he could place a couple farms, he's constantly chasing down knights. He's constantly making monks to get conversions. He's constantly queuing up Navy. So he's doing, like, 4 things right now. So it's really tricky. Honestly, if you're Capoch, send your fishing ships in front here. Just let your fishing ships die. I know that seems silly, but you see this runner here from BacT? BacT has had consistently better water micro over the last few moments. And I think what Capoch really needed was a distraction unit there. So I think also the reason Capoch is getting out microed is because he's focusing on adding the farms, and he's focusing on all that. So there's pros and cons to everything, right? Look at BacT. BacT actually made some buildings over here, walked around with his villager, and will wall that. Little does he know, though, that Capoch is already over there. A ram seems like such an interesting choice. I would have loved to see a mangonel. And here come villagers for Capoch. So Capoch, he's taking the engagement on water here. He's actually losing the engagement on water. So he needs to make sure he completes his castle and hold the phone. He has to make sure he takes out this mangonel, because if the mangonel's alive, the castle could be denied. He snipes it. He snipes the monks. The castle's on the way. A great position for Capoch to be in now on land. Just when BacT is thinking, you know, I'm going to get this guy out of here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back. Just when he's thinking that, there's now a castle in a crucial position on his face. And this sucks, because all you've been making is monks in defense, right? And now Chukunu can come out. So Chukunu will have the ranged upgrades already, because fletching and bodkin was researched for the ships. You see the siege get sniped instantly. But yeah, I'd love to see some Chukunu. Mangonel, Chukunu, and just turn this into a land game now. Just now we have the second TC for BacT. And I don't think Capoch, who is such a big eco lead, needs to worry about water too much right now. So of course, that's the only way he loses the game. The only way he loses the game is if somehow he loses all water control and that makes a difference. I think he held it for long enough. Despite the fact that both players are missing eco upgrades, especially with Chinese, that brings me pain. I think Capoch is going to tie up the series. Oh, is that the third TC? Oh, yeah, I guess that is the third TC. Sorry, I forgot about this TC for BacT. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, don't click this. Sometimes if you click there, you'll roll underneath your TC, and you'll get hit right in the middle of it. Becomes a tricky situation. Dream scenario for Capoch. Obviously, game 1 was rough, but he's got 45 on food right now. Again, he's done an insane job with that. Good defense there for BacT, both with the conversion and also the siege. But man, is it messy for him right now. Let's actually look at the worker efficiency, 52%. I looked at this. I mean, these villagers are not very efficient. Forgot to place a mining camp. Going over to berries at 37 minutes. Horse collar! Great time for that upgrade, Capoch. I'm not sure what it is about Argentinians and missing eco upgrades, but if there's any Argentinians in chat, if you could tell me if that's a problem for you too, it'd be good to know. Nikov, I'm so bummed Nikov didn't play in this tourney, man. He wanted to, but he wasn't home. Nikov's the patented eco upgrade forgetter. But nah, man, this is a great position for Capoch. Obviously, now having horse collars, farms are going to have more food on them. This is no. This is not something you need to do right now. He wants to castle the shoreline so he can get back on water. I don't think he needs to do that right now. Martin says that's because our economy and our country is so bad, we're used to it. Oh, buddy, that's so funny. I mean, if it's too real, you know, maybe it's not actually something I should laugh at, but that's pretty funny. I think one of the best traits any human can have is, you know, laughing at your problems, laughing at yourself. It's a really good trait, so it's good that you see that. Our whole country is missing eco update. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, this is going to be a denied castle here. This castle's not going to go up, so you can see what Navy can do and how Navy can keep you in games. But, again, Capoch will be an imp. He most likely can make trebs to push this. And BacT is just now getting some eco down on land. We have a castle here for Capoch. Yeah, he's eventually going to find a spot, right? He's eventually going to find it. He can then dock here. What he wants to do is he wants to treb on land, and then he wants to go fully back on water and win with galleons. And then he'll control all the seas. He'll have more eco on land, and he can kind of do anything at that point. But honestly, guys, I know the score is close, but I still am just not seeing how BacT could do this. I mean, if he would have expanded further away from the shoreline over here, I would think differently. If he had a TC here and here, then it's different, because that eco can't be ranged by the Navy, but all this stuff can be ranged. And once the trebs come in, there's not going to be an awful lot to really stop Chukunu from ravaging BacT eco in the south here either. So this castle was really important for Capoch. A lot of players don't do that. And a lot of players do not do that. A great job by BacT for staying in. I agree. I mean, both players have put up some real fight here this series so far. Right? Like, Capoch almost brought back the first game. He did everything in his power to come back. And now BacT, I would say, has kind of done the same. So if you think about it, you know, it's all about early castle age in this game. And that sneaky stable from Capoch changed so much. Capoch being a little wasteful. I mean, like, obviously he's going to make the trebs. He's still going to win this, but he continues to lose Navy down here. He really just needs to make more docks up here, right underneath the castle. That'll take a bit longer, but again, I'm not really sure it makes the biggest difference. As we've got camels attacking villagers, and BacT doesn't notice this yet. Now he does. So he's going to convert those camels, and he will defend this. Now the Malay player has camels. Of course, BacT will lose this. I think what BacT wants to do, see, he can see this. I think BacT wants to drop a castle on Capoch and keep him off this corner. And then try and hold 3 areas of land to 1. The issue is he's about to lose 1. And if he wants to keep this alive, he has to repair that castle. So he's kind of... It's damned if you do, damned if you don't right now for BacT. Regardless of whatever decision he makes, I think he's screwed. And wow, Capoch, look at this. With a bit of game sense, knew the Vils were going that way. Saw the outpost, and he's just going to drop his own castle here. And he says, nuh-uh, not today, buddy. BacT loses the castle, will now lose the TC. And, well, it just continues to get worse and worse for him. Still don't really see that water focus we expected here from Capoch. He shifted mainly into land, and this castle just got denied by a knight and a camel, though that will, of course, put a stop to that. I guess he's sending Chukunu over there just to protect it. Another castle for BacT. BacT has no gold income. Oh my god, that shot was sick, though. Okay, with no disrespect to Capoch, I think that it's fair to say that BacT is better with micro. Like, BacT has had some sick conversions, some sick Mangonel shots. But if Capoch can get the decisions right, if he can get the strategy down, which is what Age of Empires is about, but then I really think that Capoch has a chance in this series, as we've seen here. But man, like, losing those Chukunu a second ago really hurt as he takes out the siege. Still got Light Cav getting kills, and yeah, BacT taps out. What a good game, though. That was a really good game. That's what you want to see. If you see someone win, you want to see the person who loses put up a really good fight before that happens. And Capoch had a crazy economy, unlike Argentina, apparently. 143 villagers, 8 villagers in the queue. And you can see, even now, BacT hasn't even caught up to the amount he had on food. And he had more than 30 on food at one point. Chinese, man. I don't know if that was about the Chinese or really about other aspects, but it ended up getting the win on this map again. You have cheaper techs in the mid game. You can do virtually everything. And if you don't die early with Chinese, it's one of the toughest civs to stop. You can see wood, food, gold, and stone count really good there for Capoch as he ties up the series. Hey, Daniel, thank you very much for the new sub, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Let's keep it rolling here, folks. Let's keep it rolling. A reminder that we have 4 best of 5s today, so we are going to keep moving through. Also, coffee's great. Let me just sip this coffee. Okay, thank you. Game 3 will be on one of the home maps there for BacT. You know what we should do before we go into the games is we should knock off the civilizations that have been used. So Capoch gets his victory with Chinese, lost earlier with Italians. And for BacT, he had his victory with Lithuanians, his first civ pick. Funny how that works. And then he lost there with the Malay. All right. Game 3 is on Grapple. We have Indians versus Japanese coming up. Let's do it. All right, here we are. Game number 3. Capoch, you forgot a villager. Okay, there he goes. This is one of my favorite maps. This is one of my favorite maps in this tourney. I think it produces a lot of fun and insane situations. And also, it is a map where we have seen Indians be picked very frequently, okay? Indians have the cheaper vills. They're very good booming civilization, and this map tends to be one of those, or tends to produce those situations. And then also, their villagers collect more food from shore fish and fish. And there's a lot of that on this map. So I think that's why you see Indians picked. Amazing starting dock spot for BacT. He actually spotted an area where he could place the dock and then also drop off the food at the dock, I think. Oh, you know what? Maybe it didn't work. And that's why he's bringing the villager back or something. I'm not sure. He also might just want to complete the TC a bit faster. Here you've got Capoch. He's further down towards the south, and he's Japanese. And Japanese, I mentioned earlier, really good in this tourney, and I had said that I think they're good on certain maps. I think this is one of them. Cheaper lumber camps, cheaper mills really helps when you're trying to spend wood on fishing ships constantly. They also have stronger fishing ships. And then Japanese, in theory, kind of difficult for the Indians to stop if they got a lot of infantry in this game. So, What's interesting about their positions is we have a south versus east situation. So normally it's like east versus west or north versus south. They're actually within striking distance of each other if they wanted to go for attacks in Feudal Age. Or maybe go for attacks otherwise. Oh, it did work? Yeah, it did work. You're right. He got 7 food. Yeah, it's weird to me then. I guess he just wanted to build his TC a little faster, and that's why BacT brought in his Vil. So yeah, while shorefish are definitely something you want, you do need to make a mill, and for Indians, that's 100 wood. So what we tend to see, because players really want to work towards as many eco units as possible, is we'll see Vil production from the TC. For the most part, they're going to chop wood, right? But they do need a little bit of food income for now. And then with the wood, they make the fishing ships. Now, I hope Capoch doesn't play this map like other people played this map. I really think it's a mistake to go full-on water control here. I've given my opinion on that many times. We have actually seen full-on water control stem to full-on land control, though. So if you plan on going aggressive on water, and then afterwards going aggressive on land, I don't mind that too much. Now, this dock position is quite possibly the worst dock for Capoch he could have gone for. Look at his scouting. You could scout with a transport ship here, right? So I was thinking at the start his transport was here. He could have docked right here. And he would have had a fish that he could have dropped the food off with his Vil, kind of like he's doing now. And then he's got other fish around. I mean, I won't say that this isn't a bit unfortunate. This is like a bald spot. This is like Capoch's head, you know? Not too much hair on it. Or, sorry, I shouldn't make fun of Capoch. We can't make fun of competitors. Let's say Dave's head, you know? It's got a lot of shine to it. But it's actually going to be a bit of an issue for him because there's only 80 food left on that fish. He will travel long distance to get that one. I guess in Feudal Age he'll probably make a different dock. Definitely seems to be a little better for BacT. He's got 2 deep fish as opposed to 1. And then he's got a few shore fish here. Japanese. Are they a good counter here to Indians? Yes or no, chat? What do you think? I mentioned the infantry. I think if you get to Halb Treb, you know, you get a lot of infantry and push fast with siege. I think it can work against Indians. But guys, while we think camels when we think Indians, they've got dirt cheap villagers. They have fully upgraded skirms. They get incredible hand cannons and incredible cav archers. So I personally prefer the Indians. And when I played in this tourney in round 1, I actually chose Celts over Japanese. I was debating on the 2 because I felt like having the siege with the faster halberdiers would maybe be a little better in the long term against Indians. That said, my opponent shreked me with hand cannons there too. But at least I had really good siege. And I don't know. It depends. I guess we'll have to see. Now, players are bringing in boars right now, at least BacT is. And we're going to see the same for Capoch. And they're doing that because they don't want to invest wood into their mills at the moment. Oh, God. Oh, no, the boar runs back. Oh, that sucks so much. He tried to do... Okay, at least he's going to... Oh, my God, the boar won't cooperate. He's like, you will not eat meat today, or tomorrow, or the next day. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, dude. There we go. The thing is, he could actually lose the Vil. He does have loom, but this kind of sucks. Man, Indian hand cannons are ridiculous. I think the best thing about Indians is just their cheaper Vils. But you've got a civ that can't make knights, and we're talking about it like it's a beastly civ. They can't make knights and they can't make arbalest. Think about that. There's not another civ in the game that can't make both of those things, right? So, I don't know. I've felt like Indians have been underrated for some time. I'm not sure if Baskets is here right now. My boy Baskets has been talking about it for a bit too. And, you know, maybe in King of the Desert, people were reminded of it, but I think Indians have been solid for a long, long time. So here goes BacT. Now, interesting approach, right? So what he did in some of the other games, when he would want to fully win water, was he would transfer everything to wood and everything to gold, okay? And so with that, he would then have tons of wood for docks and fires. Here, what BacT is doing is he's sending 5 villagers to shorefish, so that's plenty of fast food income. He's sending 2 villagers to gold, and an additional 5 to shorefish. So this is a structured, almost fast castle-looking build order for BacT. Meanwhile, Capoch, you see a second dock. And you see how, I mentioned this already, I think that this approach is a dangerous approach on Grapple. I can see why you can get sucked into the idea, but there's not that much fish. But anyways, Capoch is going double dock. He's actually up really late too, but he's going double dock to try and win water. So there's 2 things you could do if you're BacT. You could just use the gold to go fast castle, and you could go up rather quickly. Or you could make a demo, or maybe some galleys with that gold. It would delay your uptime, but if you're worried about the fish, you can maybe go out and try and take them. I think against the Japanese, because their fishing ships are so strong, it's probably not worth even trying to take them out with anything. But I could be wrong, and I really like how Capoch is thinking about redocking over here. Also, it seems like both of them are kind of fighting over this cow right now. Bessie's not too pleased about that. If you're going to compete for water, at least get some redocks down. So get a dock here. Very weird to me how this villager's just wandering around right now. So for BacT, he did queue up a fire. Did he actually make it? No, he canceled it. Like I said, he needs that gold to go up. And he goes stable, and then he goes blacksmith. I find Indians awkward to play, but you can't argue with that eco bonus. Yeah, I get that. I can get how they can be awkward. I think the main thing here is, like, we're looking at the best of the best, and the best of the best are able to play certain things really well, right? Where's this dude going right now? And we have 1 mill over here on the shorefish. I'd like to see maybe another one on this side. I think if we were to ever remake this map, I would probably have the ice removed around the shorefish. Because you can't build on the ice, and the ice can be rather inconsistent at times. Like, this looks like a really good spot, right? We've got a mill like here and here and here. Maybe a little too awkward for players. Anyways, how many of you guys saw the set between Max and BacT in the previous round? If you saw that, you probably remember how good BacT was with a little bit of scout control. He was just everywhere. I think he was Persians in that game. But anyways, he was just scouting everything. Great awareness, was getting relics, had a full boom behind. And so I like the scout edition. However, Capoch, Capoch is not completely walled. Capoch thinks he's completely walled. Oh, man. And guys, all you need to do to know if you're walled is click outside your walls. You click outside your walls, your villagers will find the hole. Just like BacT is clicked inside, and the scouts just found the hole. Oh, God. This is going to hurt so much. I mean, it's just 2 scouts, but still, it's going to be so frustrating. And he's going to be like, what? And now he knows he has a hole, so he instantly sends a blacksmith villager over here to go plug that. But it just feels like an unnecessary loss, you know? I hate to see players at this level fall behind like this. His BacT is blocking. He knows a spearman or something might come out, and look at the work from BacT there. That was so well played to get 2 villagers killed. Keep in mind, his fish are going down, right? And you've got a sneak double archer range over here for Capoch, who wants to click up, but he hasn't finished the blacksmith yet. And when he finishes the blacksmith, he'll be up. But I think the scouts have paid off there. That said, for BacT, he's going siege push. So he's gonna try and keep Capoch in this corner. And perhaps also seeing that there's no stone in here for Capoch. Really good activity from BacT. I feel like, no offense to you guys, but, you know, most players would probably just say, okay, whatever, and forget about the scouts. But he's keeping Capoch on the run. And that maybe allowed that Mangonel to get some damage in there because Capoch was distracted. Now, if I'm Capoch, you don't like to do it, but I would like to see him just come down here and make a lumber camp. Because this seems unnecessary now. It's only 50 wood to make a new lumber camp. I think you have to do it. And now he just lost a villager underneath the TC on the cow. And what he wants to do is he wants to pressure with archers here. And that could still do so much damage. Holy crap, he's got a lot. But can he keep his TC up? He has no defensive buildings, guys. This is a really crazy game. You look at BacT. He's about to add the TC. Capoch, if you start running in, my friend, if he were to make a run for it now, it's all about timing. He could deny that. I think if that TC goes up, I would prefer the position for BacT. Okay, this has got to make BacT think, okay, why doesn't he want me to go in there? Like, he's probably really confused. He's like, he has a barracks, but he doesn't have an archery range. He doesn't have anything. And he seems really scared that I'm going to run in. Why is that an issue is probably what BacT is thinking. And it might lead to him scouting, but here comes the army. There's the villager as well. Fortunately for BacT, he only has one villager here. So he's probably going to get a heads up now. And the TC also goes up at the perfect time. Meanwhile, we have siege defense for Capoch, who's really going to be struggling to afford it. He can afford one. He's got no wood, though. He's got no wood, so he needs that shot to land. Meanwhile, he's got Bodkin here. He kills a few villagers. He now is forcing BacT off of some of his wood. But BacT can still take wood, and I think if these units go around, then they could take BacT off of gold. This is a really crazy game right now. Oh, man. This TC could go down. Guys, it costs twice as many resources to repair a TC as it is to build a TC. If BacT doesn't notice here, though, Capoch has a chance. This army's now on the golds. Okay, this is BacT's point of view. This is nutty. Keep in mind, Capoch still has some fish working for food income. If you're BacT, you need to take this out. If you can take this out, you've got a good shot. Obviously, you also still need to deal with this. This is wild right now. I love the vision from BacT. I love the Outpost edition. So many players don't do that. It's such a smart decision. And still back here, you've got the crossbows. I love how Capoch is repositioning them. He's putting them on stand ground so they don't move around unnecessarily. And there you have the micro from BacT. Oh my goodness, that was some sick micro. As he's rolling home with siege. Does have some cows for food. Still has a little bit of shorefish. Does have gold over here. It feels like BacT is going to pull ahead if he continues this. Because he does have Capoch kind of trapped in here. See, a villager died. See, these crossbows moved around. This villager's still alive. He's going to make a tower. Another villager dies, actually. This is going to be dealt with. That means that BacT's still focusing over here. Capoch microing it, though. Bringing over these crossbows. Now knows he needs to run away. The idle time is just off the charts for BacT. We now have Capoch going with another shot. Both players microing like gods again. Capoch with another shot. BacT with another dodge. Yo, these guys are playing insane Age of Empires here. What in the world? Like, you'd think, okay, as finally the villager gets sniped, maybe that was ambitious. But you'd think there'd be a misplay at some point for one of them. But it's just like perfection, 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 perfection. And, oh my god! And finally, BacT gets it. Finally, BacT gets it. But how many volleys do you think those mangonels fired? Actually, I should have stats on that somewhere, right? Oh, no, it doesn't work for siege with capture age. Oh, the attack ground from Capoch. He almost took it out. It's so weak. Holy cow, man. The crossbows, I think, did move away. But again, I just want to say, like, now BacT has cheap vills he can produce out of multiple TCs. He's got all of his resources protected. And he can expand. So for Capoch, it's a priority to not only clear this up, but he needs to, like, completely clear this area and expand with the TC here. As he gets a good shot, he will lose one in the process. I think my concern right now for Capoch, as he does have the second TC, is food eco. So I think I would get, you know, a couple villagers, make a mill on the shorefish. Make some fish traps, maybe for your fishing ships, things like that. As also, BacT was rolling around. No way, dude. BacT was rolling around with a mangonel. And somehow the crossbows got into the minimum range of it. That should not happen. Now, BacT probably notices that. So he's got to get a bunch of little volleys off when he's close to the mangonel because BacT wasn't reacting. And he just took out a mangonel with 5 crossbows. Wow. Sick game. Also, what's up, Blue-Footed Booby? Also, Jaron, what's up? He says, Dear T90, for passing 2K viewers on Facebook, 2,000 stars. Greetings. Hey, thank you. Viewership's insane right now. I know, it's great. The games have obviously helped so far today. We have 3 more sets after this, guys. Has anyone else been a little surprised by how good Capoch has played today? We know he's a good player. We know he came in here as the 5th seed. And he's a big tryhard in tournaments. Like, he takes it very seriously. But for me, I just, like... I guess I didn't see Capoch hugely tested in the earlier stages of the tourney. And so, I was just expecting BacT to be able to one-up him with some of the big plays. And while I still think BacT has the lead, I've been very impressed with Capoch. And Capoch, I'm sorry. I jinxed you, my friend. It's about to all fall apart for you, I think. He lost his Mangonel. He is probably going to try and get a TC up over here. I think he's about to buy stone. Let's see. Yep, buys some stone, bought some wood. Try and complete the TC. Crossbow's still over here, still annoying. BacT has had to wheel home Mangonels time and time again. And then this Mangonel can't path, man. It's the most confused siege weapon ever. Finally, it makes it over. Kept getting blocked by villagers. But I still just keep looking at that eco difference. 65 to 44. And again, like, what on earth is the fish gonna do? As BacT micros again! It gets another 1-0. Wow. Takes one, keeps his alive to repair it for a rainy day. Some of these crossbows died. I mean, this feels like you just can't invest it into it anymore, right? It feels like all of this has been countered. The pressure for BacT might not have killed insane amounts of units, but it allowed him to do a lot. As this crossbow's down here being annoying, he even just gonna fight that back with some vills. It's a 1v1 battle, people. Oh, wow. I normally wouldn't say 4 TCs is a good play here. But I would love to see it for BacT. You've got cheap vills. You're not getting any siege pressure from the north. So I think, yeah, here you go. Just drop a TC. Oh, that's a little risky, but... Just get a TC somewhere up there so you have a little bit more vision. This game's probably going to go late, despite the fact that currently you're ahead. So just add as many vills as possible as he gets another shot. I mean, BacT is just... Ever since I complimented Capoch, BacT has been destroying him. But also, and I think we saw this... in both games so far, when Capoch is focusing on his eco, he's not able to focus on the micro as much. So when we've seen these lights out micro plays from Capoch, it's because he doesn't have eco. And wow, what a good shot. What a really good shot that was. Okay. Zardis, Dave and I are going to cast the last 2 sets of the day together. So, yes. Yes, yes, yes. TC, it still has to be saved, right? You got to keep this TC up. Now you're behind in numbers. And I think a big issue for Capoch is that he doesn't have monks. So there's nothing to stop BacT from just sending camels in to take out the siege. And at least Capoch notices this. He notices it's a possibility, but that means he's got one less siege weapon where he needs it. And again, BacT notices this. This is such a great series. Like, the gameplay here is top-notch. And I think what's really exciting for me is that both players have gone in with game plans. Like, there were one too many games in the round of 32 where I just look at it and say, yeah, clearly that guy didn't know what he was doing on that map. BacT has obviously shown a little brighter here in this game. And so far, you know, if that ends up being the case and he closes it out the series, but still. For Capoch, it was, you know, control water, pick Japanese, keep your fishing ships alive. I doubt the strat a little bit, but then again, you've got Indians, man, and we haven't seen many people be able to stop this Civ so far. BacT's patient has been so nice. I agree. Yeah, it's like he feints an all-in push. So you think, oh my god, I gotta defend if you're Capoch. And then behind it, there's this massive eco from BacT. And again, he gets another shot. And oh, this could be the end. I think if this castle goes up, he might delete the outpost so we can place it. Oh, he's gonna place it here. I think if this goes up... Oh, and don't lose your Mangonel. Oh, the GG's gonna be called here. I think the GG's gonna be called here. He needs that. If this castle's up, I think it's game over. If this castle's up, this TC will go down. Which means there's no consistent gold income for Capoch. And BacT can see everything right now. He can see it all. He comes in to stop any siege. Oh, he doesn't see this, actually. Looking around. Looking around. Now he sees it. Okay, one villager gets hit. The rest of the villagers get healed, which is kind of funny. You just need a 1-for-1. Yeah, you get a 1-for-1 or a 1-for-0. Oh my god, does he save that too? Wow, he saves that as well. He could have easily sent more villagers in this too. It seems like such a risk to send only, what was it, 7? Oh! Oh, he gets the shot off, he dodges, and now he finishes the castle. Wow, dude. Wow. I think overall, this definitely brings me back to something I mentioned in Dark Age every time on Grapple. I don't think that controlling water on this map is as important as controlling land. And the strategies that I've enjoyed the most and feel like have the most success stem to fast castle and take land control, right? Now, you can still control water in some ways, but I think you have to prioritize land. And the key distinction between the two is that BacT went double mill on shorefish, and Capoch, if I'm not wrong, didn't have any mills on shorefish. So even if you have a little bit more food income if you're Capoch, that way you're not in Castle Age that late, I think it's fine. Like, it was a 20-30 Castle Age. Maybe like an 18-minute with a little bit of water control. Now, Capoch did also go for something that was extremely risky. He ran the whole way around the map, dropped these archery ranges, and it actually did work out, right? He did get some damage, but maybe it was, again, a little too late. Those would be kind of my criticisms for Capoch. But it's not like Capoch didn't play well. I think BacT is playing phenomenally here. And that's something we mentioned when he swept the max in 3 very convincing games in the previous round. So, good news for Capoch now, as this has been a back-and-forth series. He does have 1 home map remaining. And if you look at the home maps, he's got, let's see here. Inundation remaining. He did lose on, or sorry, he got his win on Compass earlier, which I should probably remove. Got his victory on Compass. Now BacT has his victory on Grapple. So Inundation it will be for the next game. And guys, we've seen a lot of market abuse in Inundation. Inundation is crazy because all the gold's in the middle, and that's where the players start. So you tend to see TCs on gold. As I'm thinking about civs that are good or bad here, I think Aztecs is the clear pick for Capoch. I think they're amazing if they have gold access. And then for BacT, he's probably going to go Mongols on Mired. Trying to think here. Mongols on Mired. So does he go Mayans maybe? Do we see a Meso War? That's my guess right now. Feels like the most natural thing. But trust me, this map is going to be a race to the market. 100% a race to the market, okay? And I'm completely wrong, actually. I'm completely wrong on the civs. My apologies. And sorry, the score is also not updated there, but we'll update the score in game, so it's fine. Okay, into Capture Age. And it's Goths. Why would BacT pick Goths here of all civilizations? I'm very confused. Okay. So, again, Inundation, you start off in the middle with your vills. And we have seen games where players would TC the outer ring. The problem with TCing the outer ring, and this is the big problem, is that the enemy will have a TC up faster than you. And if the enemy has a TC up faster than you, they'll have more vills. So TCing right away ensures you're going to have as many workers as possible, which means as many resources as possible. So it's better to start in the middle, because you do have some food here, and then walk out here for wood and other things, than it is to do the opposite. Again, Goths, you know, they spam infantry, they get loom for free, they do actually hold more hunt, and kill hunt a little faster. There's maybe reasons to pick the Goths, but, like, I'm a little uncertain as to why you'd pick them. You do start with the horse on this map. We have a few maps where you have a little scout. You can't attack with it, but you can scout, and it's important. Keep an eye on all the red and blue dots. That's going to be for sheep. BacT is collecting all the sheep, which he'll probably want to send in towards his TC right now. Good job from BacT, as he's just going to take that. Another civ, which I'm surprised we haven't seen picked here, is Britons. Because of all the sheep. I think there's like 30 sheep around the map, if I remember correctly. And in my opinion, it might even be more than that, actually. Hold on, let me zoom out and click sheep. There's 20 sheep that haven't been found yet. So, yeah, it's probably like 30. It feels like the sheep bonus is arguably stronger than any hunt bonus here. Because you have to walk for the hunt, you know? But why Goths? Why Goths? Why Goths? Does carry, what is it, 50 food with Goths per trip? Could be part of it. Crossings are a little awkward here. There is a crossing here. There's a crossing here. Like here, you can't cross over until, I think there's a crossing here, right? Actually, I'm not even sure that's a crossing either. Feels like the only way, and this is maybe something that we should take a look at. I've never seen this, but unless I'm mistaken, the only way BacT can go is to the south. I guess on the bright side is there's resources the same everywhere in the outer ring. You've got stone, berries, boar, sheep, of course, and then wood. No gold. Another civ is Saracens. I've seen quite a few players pick Saracens for this map. I didn't cast the series, but when Yo played against Good Luck, who had that awesome, awesome series against Golden End in the first round. You guys should watch those games on YouTube. We had, like, the triple castle drop upload, and then we had the 37 villager imp upload. That whole series was nuts. Anyways, Good Luck gained a lot of fans in that series. And then he went up against Yo in the next round and eventually lost, of course, because it's Yo. But he picked Saracens on this map, and he beat Yo. Because he rushed Feudal Age, he used the market with all this gold, and he just bought his way to Castle Age because Saracens have a crazy market price. A market rate. And there you go. Elias says, should you always drop TC fast, even if position is poor? Yes. However, that is on this map. Because you know on this map that the wood is really far away. If it's regular Nomad, you can walk around a little bit and try and get a TC up next to a wood line. So don't just, like, insta-drop your TC on regular Nomad. But, guys, are you seeing the sheep difference right now? I'm telling you, man. The sheep are huge. There's 1,000 food underneath the TC right now. And that's the difference between quite a few strategies right there. BacT right now has a Vil. And I think it's possible that he's looking for Capoch's woodline. Oh my god, he is. So guys, he hasn't found it. Look, he's scouting with sheep. He doesn't know where the TC is either, but he's probably assuming there's going to be a woodline here, woodline here. But Capoch is just out of his scouting here. Just out of his scouting. So I think that's the strat from BacT. That's why he picked Goths. It's because he wants to flood cheap militia in Dark Age, knowing that the lumberjacks are always really exposed on this map. I don't think it's a bad strategy, but if he doesn't find him, then it will be really poor. Meanwhile, Capoch, I think, is going to try and go up towards Feudal, maybe even Castle Age. Capoch finds all the sheep that were coming back. Oh, man. Look at the food difference underneath the town centers right now. So you have one player spending additional food and gold, and then not having as much underneath the town center to collect it. Or any eco bonus, which is, again, weird that you would pick this civ. The other player is not spending any additional food, has plenty of extra resources, and then we should mention, in the long term, just has the way better civ. Like, Aztecs are so much better than Goths, it's not even funny. They get stronger champions, they have stronger eco, they have better options with monks, eagles, yada yada. So it just comes down to if BacT can find this and kill Vils. He's looking. Eric's is pretty far away, but he's going to stop at 3 militia. Will he find this? I think he's going to find the berries at the very least. So he finds the berries. That's good. That's very good. Capoch, it almost looks like he reacted to seeing that. Capoch is up pretty late, I have to say. Like, this is a fast castle for Capoch. And you can be punished for going late feudal and thus, you know, fast castle by any type of rush. And yeah, here comes a militia and he quick walls it. And actually, that's a beautiful palisade because if he can get this down too, he'll be completely walled. BacT is here with the horse trying to block the palisades. The militia come in anyways. Uh-oh. You've got no military, Capoch. BacT is going to be really annoying here. You've also got the villager. Meanwhile, on the other side, she's going to finish the walls. And no, what are you doing? Oh, I don't think BacT could see that. Oh my goodness, what a save from Capoch. That was so well done. So he used that opportunity to wall on his wood line. BacT couldn't see that villagers were coming from the other side. So now this army is trapped. Well, I can leave, but it's not about leaving or staying. It's about killing vills. And there you go. Okay, he finds a vill. And now, oh, I don't know. That's a good decision. Capoch, no, now there's two vill. Oh, God. Okay, it's falling apart here. Falling apart. She's like, all right, that works out. I can save myself and go to my job now. And then this is a dead vill. So, mission accomplished, question mark. Mission accomplished, question mark for BacT. Because I think he would have wanted to do more damage. Where's his vill, though? I guess this is the vill. Like, I feel like if this vill would make an archery range, it would make a big difference, but he's getting fought back with no support right now. And Capoch double checking to make sure he's walled in. The majority of the games I've seen on this map be successful, it's always been surrounding fast castles. Why would you draft Goths? He picked Goths. So he thought this strategy would be it. It just looks really, really weird right now. You know? Also is going to have to send another vill here, most likely. Capoch might lose that villager, but look at Capoch's resources. If I'm Capoch, I just go full-on monk siege in the next stage. I don't even know if I make eagles. He will need more on wood, but I think he could always pull the very villagers over to wood. I just go monks with tons of HP, which is Aztec bonus, and mangonels, and you just pressure the gold. Just pressure that TC. Yep, there he goes. He's on the way up. Selling all of his stone. Okay, so there's this thing I should mention. I don't think it'll be a factor here. And it's important to note that BacT has the stone. So when you build a town center, you need 275 wood and 100 stone, okay? When you repair a TC, you do not spend stone repairing it, okay? You only spend wood. However, it's this weird thing where you always need one stone in the bank to repair a TC. Always need one. So, if there's a world where any of these TCs get pressured, and they don't have stone in the bank, they actually can't repair their TCs. So, keep an eye on BacT. But you can see they're both using the market, right? Buying res, buying res, buying res. Goth infantry does destroy buildings a little faster. So this is a little awkward right now. These man-at-arms, his BacT chose to get the upgrade. Kind of paying off right now. And you don't exactly want to just make another house behind it either. So he's got nothing for that right now. But he is going to make a few eagles for support. Also, did anyone see what happened to that vill? Oh god, Capoch's vill is down here. And he's like, maybe I should build a barracks. I don't think he ever expected that to happen. Capoch is in feudal age, blocking the vill. He's blocking the vill with his horse, trying to make sure the boar gets the kill, and the boar will get the kill. What a play, Capoch. That was such a good attentive play from Capoch. Most people would just put that horse on auto scout and say, forget about it. Also, really weird from BacT, too. Like, why on earth would you try and bring that into your TC? Especially if you've got the scouting here. You've got berries. Just, like, bring it, make a mill with that wood, and bring the boar to the outside. You don't want to bring more pressure to the inside. Anyways, the man-at-arms continue to pressure. This villager is very important, as she could make a siege workshop, anything ranged to try and break through here. We have, again, man-at-arms for BacT. He's making a lot of them from the side, which sucks. And he's going to make siege. But Aztecs, they're monks, man. You get plus 5 HP on your monks per monk technology. And then, which makes them very hard to kill. And oh man, the TC killed one, and he also got a conversion. I think with the redemption technology, this would be huge. BacT is going to wall Capoch in to keep him safe here? Capoch would love that. That is, again, a very weird move to me. It's obviously, you know, it's stressful. It's crazy. It's like a man-at-arm just died there. BacT walling up as they will focus on the center. Hit the TC and take out some sheep. Yeah, take a Vil, but hit the sheep. I'm not even kidding. It's such a caster thing to say, but kill the sheep, dude. Or you could just kill the Vils if Capoch doesn't react. That helps too. Hit the sheep! Hit the TC and hit the sheep. Kill the sheep, please. He's gonna hit the TC and it'll kill sheep. Please, make me happy. Thank you. Ah! Okay. Alright. The sheep thing looks really bad now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Never listen to me. That's really, really bad now. You really could have used that mangonel. Okay. I got too excited. I apologize. Now we have the mill being attacked. It still could lead to these breaking in and killing villagers. But another mangonel goes down for BacT. And did you guys see Redemption come in yet? All I see is that these monks have more HP than the man-at-arms. Feels like if Capoch doesn't take any damage over the next few moments, he's won this game. And we're going to a game 5. And now, you know, Goths just looks really, really bad. If I had $1 for every time I'd seen someone pick Goths in a tournament and then have them lose with it, I would be a trillionaire. I mean, between Vinchester and a few other players, I mean, that alone would pay for the $1 trillion. Now, I know you Loey the Legend Goth pickers out there like your Goths, and there are situations where I've seen it work too. But Goths have no eco bonus. Their mid-game's rather flat. They get really strong against certain civs if it goes to certain situations. I just don't see that happening. Where are these villagers going for BacT? What? Now the Siege Workshop's down for BacT, which means he's about to lose his TC. And Capoch should notice this. Yeah, he sees that everything's running now. Goths get loom instantly, exactly. Well, this is a positive. Great job from Capoch to continue to repair. But we have more man-at-arms on the way. If they attack that mill together, they might actually break in. And the villagers are trying to escape, and I guess now the fact he can't run to the left is really hurting him. And Capoch sees them running now. As much as I think this is a kind of a screwed up crossing with the map gen, as much as that's the case, I think the greater issue here is everything else we've discussed. Now Aztecs have monks, they can get the relics, they get extra gold per relic. You know, have no army momentum, all your armies countered, except for this. And Capoch still doing damage control. He needs to get some monks over here, guys. He needs to get like 3 or 4 monks over here to convert these, because that's getting out of hand right now. And BacT is kind of full on berries. He's taking some stone down here. Capoch buying some wood. Okay, interesting that he's purchased wood. Again, he doesn't really have a ton of wood. That's the difference. He's got gold, but he doesn't have the other resources. He actually has 0-1 food, too. So, Capoch is just trying to hunt him down. And Capoch doesn't see the Vils are here. Remember, he knew there were Vils here before. Guys, is there actually a chance here for BacT? Is there a chance? Again, if he were to break in, oh, that would be huge. I think even the longsword upgrade, and he would have been in by now. He's got Vils running over here. I guess the issue is this. The second he's spotted, unless he has a castle down there, he's dead. Right? Like, this TC is going to completely get wrecked by this. So he needs a castle. He needs these villagers to mine a little faster. He might even drop off the stone here in a sec. Drop it off. Drop it off, drop it off. Come on, please, please, please. Drop off the stone. You need the stone. You need the stone. You need the stone. You need the stone. He's going to have... He has the stone. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. Drop it like a tot. Drop it like a tot. Oh! Oh, no! Meanwhile, the man-at-arms aren't getting in. They're not doing any damage. And see, monks... There's 7 monks, right? So they could actually just convert the Vils. And when villagers resist conversions, it will delay their building. Because they can't build. So Capoch is actually using a little trick, too. You can actually switch your conversion constantly. But wait a second. He converted... He must have used his whole group to convert one of those Vils. So he can't convert anymore. This is BacT's point of view. BacT. Hop inside the TC right now. Oh, God. Hop inside the TC. Hop out of the TC. Get it. Finish the castle. Finish the castle. Please. Maybe. Tomorrow? Today? Later? Next week? Finish the castle? Well, he wants to take out the siege first. The 96. There he goes. He finishes the castle. Wow, that was eventful. After all of that has happened, Capoch has great military. BacT is defended. And Capoch is going to lose all of his siege. Honestly, and again, there's still plenty of opportunity here for Capoch to find these villagers and other villagers too. But honestly, not horrible for BacT. And we have a TC going up for Capoch, who's had, like, no food eco, right? He hasn't had farms. He's now buying stone for some reason, maybe to add more town centers. But, you know, BacT will see this TC. This lady's just chilling here for some reason. And Capoch still buying stone. Oh, sorry. He bought stone and then he bought wood. I think he's buying wood for farms. Guys, Capoch is about to be on 4 town centers with 1 on food. You need 6 on food to produce out of 1 TC. He needs so much more food for this. Okay, there I guess he's getting berries. I think I should take it all back. I think this is actually possible for BacT. And hold on, BacT knows. No way, dude. No way, no way, no way. He knows about the TC because that Vil, we're going to call her Sally. Not to be confused with Samantha. They're very different people with very different personalities and very different outfits. We've got Sally here. And Sally's like, hey, guys, over here. Come on, stop. We got to stop this. I love how Capoch is attacking BacT's market. It's like the most important building for both players right now as they buy and sell resources. And honestly, this castle could only be denied with a tower. So it all comes down to Capoch noticing this. So I think he's going to hear the dudunk when he gets the relic. And he's gonna notice it. Okay, so now he sees it. He's bringing over monks. He converts a man-at-arm, which obviously helps. If I were him, I would actually convert a villager instead of the man-at-arm. But I guess if you convert the man-at-arms, then the man-at-arms stop the castle. So what am I talking about? Okay. Well, there's one army there that could deny this. But it seems like the castle will go up anyways. As the man-at-arms path underneath the TC here. So BacT is probably expecting more support. And now we have Capoch running away again. Now, someone in chat just said this feels like a troll game. The thing is, guys, Inundation is meant to be crazy. We want this tournament to be about adapting, right? So, like, this right here, BacT having to take a boar in Castle Age seems really silly and really unique. But it honestly is the best play for him right now. He also has to make a new market because he just is about to lose his market. The only way that BacT can get gold is if he goes to the middle. And Capoch has full domain over the middle and is even making outposts. But Capoch doesn't have the food, which is what's so ridiculous about this. And guys, as Capoch buys food, and it's getting more and more expensive, BacT will get more gold when he sells. Look at this. Look at how much gold he's getting in return for even selling wood. So this is AoE2 economics here, guys, okay? Because as gold gets more expensive to buy, you actually receive more gold when you sell it. Look, he's buying more food. He's buying more wood. It's getting more and more pricey. This is insane. This is really good. Now, what Capoch is doing a great job of now is he's trying to correct everything. So as he's selling stuff and buying stuff, I should say, he's then investing into more vills, but he's adding farms. He has wood. Whereas if you look at BacT does not have gold. So he needs a good fight to eventually get back to gold. For lack of a better word. He's now going to add a TC here. So he's got TC in the south. He's got, mainly in the west, he's got his other TCs. So 80 vills versus 53. Again, Goths don't have any eco bonus. Capoch continues to buy resources. I'm wondering if maybe, where's the stone income? Okay, stone here. I'm thinking maybe what BacT could do is BacT could go for a big push for the center. So if he's making light cav, which is great against monks, he could run mid. Okay, he's got a little bit of vision from the houses. Run mid with light cav, and then drop a castle right here. And then Capoch will suddenly have very little access to gold. This is a crazy game. Crazy, crazy, crazy game. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. We have 3 more best of 5s after this. Now, I think if I'm Capoch, I castle drop the center. Because you don't have the army right now, so castle drop the center. And also, we might see some Jaguar Warriors. I think Jaguar Warriors would be a great unit in this matchup. He continues to buy resources. Maybe even try and sneak up a TC if you're BacT. It seems like he's being really patient with the light cav. Okay, here he comes. He's going to kill 1 monk. And now Capoch will probably see the light cav, so he'll know that he needs something. And he's dropping a castle here of all places. Interesting. Well, there's plenty more stone on the outer ring, so if you control the outer ring, you could make more in the long term. Okay, now we see another monk go down, and monks get countered by light cav. So light cav only cost food. They counter the gold units. And light cav could also kill villagers here, too. And now all you've got is monks if you're Capoch. And if BacT can get enough support in the middle and then walk into the middle, which is going to be so tough from this position, right? You'd almost need to transport. If he could just drop a castle in the mid, what a difference it would make. Actually, over here, he's making long swords. I was thinking about it, but he just saw that there's a castle there for Capoch. We have more food being purchased. Guys, I just think Capoch's eco is far superior. He has 106 villagers for 73. And he's 5 relics, which means he's getting tons of gold income, as you normally get gold from relics, but also you get more gold with Aztecs after collecting relics. And as much as BacT has fought on, like all players who have lost in games have in this series, and it's been impressive, I still don't see a world. Actually, the light cav could all get converted here. I know it's light cav, but still. I just don't see the win condition. And I keep thinking, why Goths? Why not Lions? Why not Saracens? Why not Britons? He does have Mongols on his draft, but that's for another map. I think Mongols can be good here, too. He probably isn't expecting, based on the score, Capoch to have 30 more vills, honestly. I think he's going to be shocked when he sees Capoch is in him. Now, at this point, Capoch is 25 on food, so it's not bad, right? He's only like 6 behind what the opponent has on food. It would be sick, though, if BacT could somehow control the whole outer ring. But no, if I'm Capoch, I just drop castles everywhere, and I go for Jaguar Warriors. I think Jaguar Warriors would be really strong. Why not Sicilians? I don't see Sicilians being particularly strong here, to be honest. And here comes some Eagles to deny these barracks. No real military for BacT beyond the light cav. These red dots are just houses and buildings. Remember that Sicilians don't build their first town center faster. So they only build the new town centers faster. But on Nomad, they don't build faster. If they did, I think you'd pick Sicilians, yeah. Why do you think Sicilians are not picked on any map? Well, like, Goths and Sicilians are kind of similar in that they get really strong, I think, mid to late Castle Age. And I think in this tourney, there's so many important things that happen before then. I think they both have similar weaknesses. But Sicilians have better eco, so I would have understood Sicilians more than Goths. Still not really feeling the Goth pick here. Jaguar Warriors, man. My favorite unique unit when I was a kid. That and Cataphract. Look at them go. Look at them go. They slice and dice. It is the unit. There's a lot of units that wreck the Goths, but it will wreck the Goths. There's nothing Goths can really make to counter this. And then you've got the middle, and you've got the relics if you're Capoch. And he's just thinking, is it possible for me to lose this game? He, of course, will treb down this castle. BacT is trying to make some longswords and Huskarls and pikemen. He's trying to make a lot of stuff and stay active on the map right now. He doesn't want this to go to a final game. But Capoch is everywhere. You've got Eagles raiding. And you've also still got, you know, vision on the south for Capoch, so he'll probably just come down there as he'll make another town center in the middle. 126 villagers for the Argentinian. Are we about to see our first round of 16 matchup go down to the final game, guys? It feels like we are. And based on my memory, I think the Sith matchup's going to be epic, too. I think it's going to be Berbers versus Mongols for the final game, if the players do what I expect. BacT certainly with some regrets right now. He doesn't want it to go to that 5th game. And he's on his way to Imp. He's still going to continue to try. Having no access to the middle in this game ever since he lost his starting TC. In fact, let's look at the resources collected. I mean, that's just insane. Now, it's not too surprising that BacT would have more of every other resource, but that's just insane. He does continue to try, and if there's a positive here, it'd be the fact he's got 63 on food. But 63 on food equals probably things that don't cost gold, like Hussar. And 63 on food does not counter Jaguar Warriors. Now again, like I guess it's getting worse now, but there has been an opportunity for him to maybe get to the middle. I think the fact he ended up here, and the fact he can't cross here comfortably is a problem. He'd have to dock or something and transport. But even then, the second you show up here with anything, you get stomped. You get completely stomped. Just kind of had a situation where you can access it from the north, south, and east, not so much the west. As the Trebs are kept alive here. Capoch does not have Elite Jaguar Warrior. He needs to get more food income for that, but he's... Oh, never mind. There it is. Elite Jag. I forget the stat increase. So right now, Jags have 10 base attack, 65 HP. We'll see what the difference is. You can get +8 attack with Aztecs, too. With their unique tech. It's crazy, man. So now the stat increase goes up to 75 HP and 12 base attack. I think they get more armor too. Also, they attack so loudly. You hear like the whoosh from their swords or their clubs. Pretty sure that's a wooden club. Maybe it's got spikes on it, but I don't see how we hear the ching noise from that. See what I mean? That is pretty clearly a wooden club. If anything, it should be like bonk. Oh, geez. This is... Oh, God. BacT makes it to Imp, and he wants to upgrade his army. And it's been found by the Jags. Oh, this is tough. Like, he completely wrecked, even if he gets his upgrades here. But... Oh, he's gonna hide. That's nice. I would do the same thing. It's wood with obsidian spikes. Is it? I don't see the spikes, man. Oh, I guess those are supposed to be the spikes. If you zoom out to this level, it kind of looks like they're holding a chicken leg, you know? Like they're hungry or something. Anyways, you've got monks, you've got Jaguar Warriors. This is the comp. BacT continuing to play on makes me worry a little bit for his mindset. Maybe he's trying to get into Capoch's head or something, but he is pretty clearly dead in my opinion. So we've had both players fighting on a lot. It's a big difference in prize pool to win or lose in this series. There's obviously, if you win... It's not this surprise pool that you could get if you lose the next series. It's a prize pool you can get if you continue. Forget the money then. You've got, like, the prestige of it all. Both of these players, consummate professionals, have been playing competitive esports for a very long time. BacT specifically within Age of Empires 2. Capoch, at one point Age of Empires 2, left for other things like StarCraft, and then came back to Age of Empires 2 about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. You know, I'm still looking at the pops. Still looking at the position. And it's just, there's just going to be less and less red on the map. The Jags will just shred the buildings. You don't even need siege. You just make Jags. The only thing that's bad for Capoch is he's got like 3 castles. If he had a little bit more stone income, which he might take here, and then he'd be better off. We even have Elite Eagle in just to raid. Like, Elite Eagle's not so good against a two-handed swordsman. It feels like it's not even necessary, but he can afford it. And he's everywhere right now. BacT selling food to get gold. Oh, he's getting champion. Hype. So, everything will still be bad against Jags, but it would just be less bad. And he calls the GG. We're going to game 5. Wow, I'm excited about this one. And guys, sometimes after a series, I will always look back and I'll say, do you remember that strategy choice or do you remember that moment? That was what made the difference. looking at this right now, and it just has all the feelings that maybe we're going to be saying that Goths, that strategy, why? You know, why? Now, also, we could just forget about it. BacT could learn a lesson, and he could move on to the quarterfinals because he's got his home map coming up. But Capoch ties it up. There's the resource difference in that game. It was a good fight for BacT. I think he needed to make more happen in Castle Age. Capoch sorted it out with 26,000 gold collected, 4,000 of which came from the relics, which are all in the outer ring, by the way. So he snagged the relics. Maybe something BacT could have stopped him from doing. All right, so we go back to the Civ draft scene to see what we have, and it is going to be mired. And I think the predictions that I said earlier are going to come to fruition here. We're going to have Aztec victory there for Capoch. Obviously, Goths with the loss. I have seen Mayans picked on mired before, but considering it's BacT's home map and considering he picked Mongols really early, I believe he will go Mongols. And it would only make sense for me to see Berbers as a counter to that for Capoch. There's pros and cons to both civs. Sorry, I should update the scoreboard out here just so we look better for the time we're out here. But I'm not going to waste any time here. We're going to hop into the final game. First round of 16 matchup goes to 5 games. This is what we want to see. It is a best of 5, of course, if you didn't know. Game 5, ladies and gents, on mired. Let's do it. All right. Well, here we are. Welcome to mired. This is BacT's home map, and their hearts have to be beating. You might be thinking, whoa, BacT has villagers in the middle still. And then Capoch has villagers building his TC already. It's because Capoch is Berbers, my friends. Capoch is Berbers. Also, if you look at where BacT started here, and he walked this way. I think if you start here, you have to sense you're close to the edge and walk this way. So I think BacT has kind of had a Dark Age era already, as he TCs the very, very edge because he wants this hunt. There's 10 boars in the middle, okay? Mongols hunt faster. That's a reason to pick them here. However, Berber villagers move faster, and if Berbers can survive that flood of the Mongols, Berbers have cheaper knights, cheaper camels in Castle Age. They're much better civ in even late feudal, I'd say. And their camel archer counters the Mongols pretty heavily. Now, we've seen Mongols be prioritized on the drafts. People picked Mongols really early. And I personally think that Mongols are a bit overrated on this map. I'm just going to say that right now. I've said it before. I think having faster vills is so nice. And the game rarely ends in feudal age here. Anyways, here's BacT. He's going to go out for his first boar. Just like in the previous game, players do have horses. And those horses can be used to scout and also to block boars. Or more specifically, block villagers as they're bringing in the boars. Okay, so BacT weakening it with the TC, finishing it with the vills, making me very anxious. He must have the math down. And then here comes Capoch. Capoch has his horses over here, so I think he's kind of waiting. Like, honestly, if you look at how close the boars are for Capoch, and then how far they are for BacT, it's looking even worse for BacT, because he doesn't have the faster vills. But what I like is he brought his own horse over here to maybe save his villager. But yeah, this is pretty wild right now. Look at Capoch. He's waiting. He's like, go for it. I like this. Capoch is getting loom. I like this. He's not being stubborn. He's just going to get loom so he doesn't lose any vills. BacT is going to choose not to do that, which means he'll have one more vill because he's constantly creating. But now he could lose a vill. And look at this ridiculousness. He's trying to, in Game 5, block the boar, but also stay close enough to the boar. And then Capoch is blocking the vill, so the boar will kill. BacT brought in another boar and is going to lose a vill. And he doesn't have loom. And it almost lost another at the same time. Big question marks over this start for BacT here, guys. Big question marks. You're not researching loom when you know the opponent's going to try and block you. And then your TC spot. Like, you're right here. You're near the edge. You got to go to the north, my friend. And then you're closer to these boars. He's made so much work for himself here. Still no loom. And now it's like there's a snowball effect to it. Because he's like, well, I don't want to research loom because then I'll be down another vill. So he's going to try again without loom. You got to get loom here. Keep your villagers alive. Okay, gets that one first. So bring that in. This is so risky, man. This is so risky. BacT, you're crazy, dude. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Here comes Capoch. So Capoch is going to take that. He's Berbers, so it's hard to block. And he's also got Loom. So even if he gets hit a couple times, he should be fine. Should be. Okay. This does allow BacT to take that boar, though. Okay. All right. That works out. And welcome to Mired, ladies and gents. This is a pretty wild map, as you've seen. We've seen games go to Castle Age. We haven't seen too many games go to Imp, but it has happened. And it... the moonwalk! The villager's so happy that he brought in the boar. He's like, screw you, I don't need Loom. He styles on us right there with the moonwalk. That's funny. Okay, well, I have to say, you know, BacT didn't lose an additional vill. He might even end up bringing in another boar. The start looked like it could have snowballed into something awful for him, but I think he ends up being fine. John Camp in chat says, this map is terrible. Mongols are broken and boar spawning creates unfair advantages. This map is terrible. Mongols are broken and boar spawning creates unfair advantages. Well, it's almost like if you see 4 boars here, you should maybe TC close to the edge of the map. You know, maybe scout a little bit. Also, Mongol win rates in the toilet, man. I think it's like 45%. So, I think you should, like, that statement right there seems really strong. I think you should just wait a moment before you get too crazy with that. Now, that said, I'm trying to think about how many boars have been brought in. Look at all the boars underneath BacT's TC. It's like Capoch just stopped wanting to fight for them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6. And then the other aspect of it is the boars were further away from BacT. So BacT had the slower villagers. Look how weak these vills are. He had the slower villagers. The boars were further away, and he somehow ended up bringing in more food. Capoch trying to click up to Feudal Age, about to run out of food underneath his TC. Got housed badly. And there you have BacT on the way up. So looking pretty good there for BacT. It's funny how we had so much to talk about in a 10-minute span. So many moments where I was like, oh my god, BacT's making a mistake. Oh my god, Capoch is making a mistake. And in the end, that was like 6 boars, and it might have even been 7 for BacT. I prefer BacT's position. And now he's scouting, trying to find Capoch. Oh no, Jaren, I agree. Houseboat is my favorite map in the tourney. Probably Houseboat, and then... Nah, probably Houseboat. Houseboat produces some amazing games. So Capoch sending 5 to gold right now. And you have to look for his scouting right now. And he should see this, guys. Okay, he sees the villagers on gold. He was late to scouting the barracks. He scouted a lot of the back area of his opponent's base. And if that happens... Oh god, he sees the militia. Thankfully, he's Berbers. He should know it's men-at-arms from the enemy. And now look at BacT. Look how active BacT is with his scout. He says, Berber villagers, who cares? I'm going to block. I'm going to dance. I'm going to kill. And at the moment, Capoch is trying to double-click this villager a bunch to save it, but also has to quick wall other resources. So you can see as he walled down here, BacT gets the kill. And oh my goodness, that was with militia. As BacT says, hey, maybe it's a good time to get Loom. So a fine position for Capoch to open up into archers if he wants to. But man, oh man, this is looking better for BacT now, as BacT is going to go for his own archer range. Oh my god, the tiger could kill more than 1 vill here. 1. Oh, 2. And then 3. Oh my god. 4. Oh my god, what just happened? What just happened? Capoch has paid off the refs. Capoch has paid off the devs. What the? This is rigged. Never before in competitive Age of Empires have I ever seen anything so ridiculous. 1 tiger killed 4 villagers. And again, I'll say, why did you not get Loom BacT? Like, he probably would have only lost 1 if he didn't delay Loom. Oh my god, bro. Holy... I'm trying to... You probably have kids. Some of you might have kids watching. I'm trying to keep... Holy sugar. Holy spice. Jeez, man. Okay, let's calm down. Oh. I mean, he had no more food underneath his TC, so it was the correct move to send your villagers out to hunt. And you never want your weak vills to go to wood and to go to gold, but like... I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. Oh my word. Well, ladies and gents, I think it's a good time to say that Loom is an important upgrade. All right? Loom is helpful, especially when you've got weak villagers out there. Capoch is now on archers, and those archers are going to take care of the man-at-arms no problem. Now, BacT is looping in with skirms, and BacT had plenty of food for that, right? So he's going to have fletching already, an upgrade we don't have from Capoch. And Capoch also with an opportunity to close off these walls. And you're seeing now, like, he'll have safe farm space, he'll have safe golds. It's mainly this area of his eco that's unprotected. But still, I mean, Capoch doesn't have fletching yet, so this is an army that could really harass him. And while the skirms just tickle the vills, they will eventually die if Capoch doesn't have something other than just archers here. It's crazy to think that BacT could still win this. And Capoch, of course, will have no clue that the Tiger did that for him. I swear, BacT wins this game, man. And oh man, there's been an over forage. It's not an over chop, but an over forage. So the pressure pays off. Fast villagers, of course. So this villager might get away. You have some blocking here from BacT. This is so good, man. This is honestly, if he kills this vill. He's also focusing down the archers, which is what's amazing. It's a good balance. Would have killed the vill if it wasn't for Berbers. And then these villagers would also have been dead if it wasn't for Berbers. So Berber bonuses. This is where you start to remember. Mongols they can't take advantage of their hunt bonus anymore. Varian says that's exactly the kind of thing that would happen to me if I was casted in a tourney. I mean, in some weird, twisted way, it is kind of nice to see pros get super unlucky for once. I feel like every one of us has encountered embarrassing situations before. But still, oh, kill the farms. Minus 60 wood. And, okay, I think those were deleted. But man, BacT is really pressuring a lot right now. And Capoch tries to get a counterattack in, but the skirm is there. This is some great pressure from BacT. And I think, it seems crazy, but I think losing these berries and just losing this area means he had to invest another 100 wood into a new mill for the farms. And there's still just not the army production that BacT would need, Capoch would need to push this back. He lost 4 villagers to a tiger in game 5. In game 5. Unbelievable. And he's going to even out the vill count here. Again, and only he knows. It's got to be weighing on his mind. Again, Berbers, man. Okay, she finally goes down. We mentioned it in previous games. BacT just seems a little faster with the micro. What's his eco look like, though? Getting wheelbarrow now, I like that. Still on berries, I like that. Looking around over here for some other stuff. That's not too bad either. While being pushed off of gold in this type of a situation is really bad. And a villager there on the wood line just got sniped. As BacT continues to get value from his man-at-arms, he's got insane micro here. If you consider that 4 of his deaths were simply due to the fact that a tiger showed up to his eco. Look at the value he's getting from these fights. Skirm v Skirm's working. The man-at-arms are still working. The archers are on the wood line. Capoch is falling apart here. And if you're off of gold, what you can't do is what I think BacT will do, and you can't make a market, and you can't buy your way to Castle Age quickly, which is very frequently what you want to do if it's this type of a game. Oh, we do have a counterattack from Capoch. That gets dealt with immediately by BacT, as BacT is still kind of looking around with 2 archers. I guess he found some hunt over here with that. That's a lot of scouting. 34 villagers versus 31. The KD doesn't make any sense if you just got here. And it's a messy one. I think both players could maybe get housed here at their next pop. And on the bright side for Capoch, I think he will finally deal with this, which means he can get villagers back to golds. And maybe head up towards Castle Age. There's the market. I'm telling you, race to market feels so natural here. Capoch doesn't have as much food, but he does have more working farms. And if he sells some of that wood and buys some food, I could see the Castle Age times being similar. And some of that army is out here for BacT scouting. And you now see... it's a weird time to get Horse Collar. You've already made so many farms. I don't like Horse Collar right now. But yeah, he is using the market, which I like, as he drops a tower here. You can just feel the pressure for both of these players. You feel just how important this is. If someone could remind me the difference between losing this best of 5 prize pool and losing in the quarterfinal prize pool, that'd be great. I think the loser here gets 500. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 500 the loser here. And then I think like to lose in the quarters is something like maybe a 1,000? I should probably have you guys check that, actually. There we have Castle Age for BacT. If Capoch loses, we riot. Dude, I can't, like... As a Tiger attacks and BacT probably gets PTSD as he will wall this up. I'm more thinking, like, what a story it would be if BacT wins. Oh. 500 versus 812. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, a couple $100 difference, obviously, but then also an opportunity to compete in the quarters to go deeper into the tourney where the winner gets like 7 grand. So this tower is huge for Capoch, but it might not be enough. He didn't wall up. Fortunately, he's fast. I'd love to see a little house here. A little boop, little building. Boop, house it. Boop. Okay, no boop. Which means now the army can run around. Ooh, oh. Is this good or bad for BacT, right? I mean, I guess he's on gold. He can still make more army. Kind of looks like an AI over here. He's dodging some of the tower shots, but still, he's losing a lot of HP as we see double stable here for Capoch as he's going to want to go knights. And that's why I really like the fact that BacT is still making archers. Because if he went too heavy into skirms, he would have some problems. But, oh, Capoch finding the hunters. That's probably not something BacT was expecting. Oh, don't run into a tiger again. I feel like you almost have to let those vills die right now, though. Like, do you really want to send this force over to save 3 vills? I think what that does is it allows Capoch to have a better chance at clearing up these ranged units with his knights when he reaches castle here. And again, losing vills isn't great. It's not fun. He loses 1. This is messy. Their worker efficiencies are probably both awful right now. 65% versus 72. But now you've got how many crossbows here? Like 6? 7. So 2 knights can clear that. And then 2 knights can clear this too. So actually, that little raid from Capoch bought himself a lot of time. And now he just runs away. See, he just buys time even more. Okay. Cheap Berber knights. A Vill lead for Capoch. It's not pretty. It is far from pretty right now. However, he's going to clear out half the army for BacT here in a moment. BacT sees the writing on the wall. He's going to run away. He can't pressure this. He can't pressure this. And now he needs defense. And I think BacT is falling apart a little bit. Yeah, you think about Mongol bonuses. You're not thinking about crossbows right now. That's for sure. If anything, it's cav archers, but that's hard to mass. Capoch had a really rough ride in this game, but he was helped by the tiger, which is the craziest sentence I've said this tourney. And I honestly believe that the tiger killing villagers made such a big difference in this game. If BacT wouldn't have lost those villagers, I think BacT is in Castle Age so much faster. And the game we're looking at right now is not the game we would have actually seen. Unbelievable. Ballistics is in, though. This army should get cleared up. BacT should run back, though. He's got to be careful. You still don't want to throw away army against the feudal units. Well done. Very well done. That was insanely well done, actually. And actually, he's got a pretty good crossbow mass right now. He has ballistics as well, and then he also has a TC on stone and another TC on gold. So my concerns for him is more so his food eco right now, but he's not spending food on anything but vills. Okay, so this is where conversions become the difference between a win and a loss for both players. So Capoch is going to go siege. He's going to go knights, okay? All-in approach, which I think he should here. Now, siege knight destroys everything that's here. However, if monks get any conversions on the knights from Capoch, then those knights will turn around and kill the siege. See what I'm saying? So, like, BacT has to hold. He's going to have a Vill lead because he'll have the TCs pumping. He'll want a castle as well. But he's going to need to micro, and he's going to need to get conversions. And the difference is, if he goes for defensive siege, his siege can be sniped by knights. So it's really complicated. You almost want your own monks right now if you're Capoch, though. As he's double siege workshop. It sucks to see that the production's coming from the back siege workshop instead of the front one, but he's really focused And I think BacT might even try and take out the Mangonel here. No, he went for the Vil. Realizes that won't happen and runs away. Now, I love this. I think this is such a good play for Capoch. It's a little risky, but look what he did. He actually faked he was going to run in there, and look at the reactions behind. I was saying it's risky because if BacT were to send it in one night, he would kill the siege. BacT, of course, doesn't know the situation. He doesn't know that there's no monastery yet for Capoch. Still, it bothers me the siege is rolling forward. This is slowing down his push, but he's got a great push here. And a conversion comes in. Now, I'm not sure about one right now, but it does make a little bit of a difference. And, oh, a big shot. BacT tried to weaken, kill the weakened Mangonel with his own. Also, random repair villager walks through here. He's weak. And this is getting out of hand right now for BacT. Look at all the siege weapons here. He needs to kill 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then still he's in a tough spot. He might end up having to give up this area of his economy. These are just skirmishes, by the way. He might have to give up this area of his economy soon and drop a castle behind this. He hops out of the TC, and he tries to fire on the siege, which is so unbelievably risky, but a big shot could come in here. Fire, please, BacT. Fire. He does. He kills 2. Oh, boy. He knows the repair Vil's weak, too. I was thinking he could hop out with 1 crossbow and take the repair Vil. The fire again. He gets another and another. Now he hops out. Now he goes for the Mangonel. The repair villager is going to go fight. The repair villager's not there in time. He's now dead. And somehow BacT has held and he's cleared up all the siege. But guys, it's still not over yet. The knights dive in. The knights go for the siege. He just took out his own. And now into the TC we go. Into the TC we go here. He hops into the TC, but can he fight back this many knights? That's still a lot of knights there. And the idle time right now for BacT is insane. As he still, despite his excellent defense, he still doesn't have a good position here. This game continues, ladies and gents. This game continues. There's no archer ranges to make any more crossbows. And the eco for BacT is not in ruins per se, but it doesn't look pretty. Here he goes in for the siege, though. Like I said, conversions would make all the difference. He gets the good conversions. He now pops out with the monks, who have more monk juice, as some people call it. What it really is faith. They unfortunately end up dying, but so do the knights. And now BacT can make Mangonel. If you look at Capoch, he's just now adding the second TC. His knights are looking a little less potent now because Mangonel can hit and run, unlike the crossbows. And as he got a good raid in here and did some damage, we have ourselves a very close game 5. Expect a big fight from Capoch. And I'd say the bright side for him is simply the fact that there's no counter-attacking from BacT right now. So he can catch up with eco, and he could maybe drop a castle of his own. So it's going to take BacT a while to sort out his eco problems. And then, after doing that, get Mangonel forward. So this is no problem. The skirms will get cleared up. This TC will go up. And with all the food eco that he's had to make the knights, I think he'll have Vils out of the TCs, and then he'll drop a castle. Now, I'm looking at BacT's food eco, and I'm trying to see how much of this is farms, because it almost doesn't feel real. It says 26 on food now. Okay, so 7 of that is from this. It didn't feel like he had 30 or 40 farms. I like how the skirms split up. BacT just being annoying. That'll, of course, die, but, you know, it forces a little bit of idle time. What a series. What a game. This is the unit you get excited about with the Mongols, and BacT even has an eco lead. I questioned picking the freaking Goths in the previous game, you know? We even questioned some things about Capoch, like maybe don't give the Mongols that many boars, but the Tiger helped out. The Tiger got revenge for the boars, and it helped Capoch get into this position, as he drops a very defensive castle. I honestly don't like this castle. I think placing it here would make so much more sense, but at least he's going to get to start making the Camel Archer. So, Camel Archer, if we're talking full upgrades versus Mangonel full upgrades, is very strong against Mangonel. The Camel Archer is classified as a cab archer that counters other cab archers. was very strong. BacT looking for some damage with knights because there's nothing over here yet. And, oh, there's a hole. That's annoying. BacT is really expanding that economy. He's going to loop in with some Mangudai, too. Maybe get some damage. This is what I like to call free damage, right? You could also say from Capoch's point of view, this is avoidable. And really something that, in the heat of the moment, where he didn't see a couple things. And what sucks is these knights were his knights. So the knights are turning around on their people. That's why you should always pay your knights a fair wage. They'll never switch sides. Okay. Mangudai show up, but the Mangudai also have ballistics. And the Mangudai also have the attack upgrades and the defense upgrades. So that's what's tough for Capoch right now. He's kind of playing catch-up. The hole saved his woodline. Fair point, actually. But, I mean, in theory, he could have come over with camel archers, right? So he just needed a second. Another castle for BacT, and his eco and his numbers are looking so good right now. So I'm not convinced that camel archers can do it. Because as Capoch gets to 1 castle, it's now going to be 2 castles for BacT, who already has those upgrades I mentioned before. Okay, when I say ketchup, I'm not talking condiments, okay? Catch up. C-A-T-C-H up. U-P. Catch up. Not... God, now you got me all self-conscious. Not catch... Okay, alright. Alright, it's the same. It's the same. Catch up. You know, it's the same. Am I mispronouncing catch up? You know what? I'll just drop it. He's on the way to Imp now. What a great series this is. What a great series this is. And this is an army for Capoch, not Ketchup, that will just die if he moves out. He feels the need to move out, which makes sense. I'm just not sure the timing's right for him. Also, if he adds a castle here, guys, it's not an area that protects a new gold for him. I'd love to see the castle here, for example, but I'm not sure he can comfortably move out. Ooh. I'm not sure I love this one. It's not awful, though, right? It's a good hill on the left side of your eco. I guess that would be otherwise exposed. Not sure I'm in love with that. Oh, wow. Bloodlines wasn't in for BacT that whole time. So he's catching up on good eco upgrades like Horse Collar. And then also getting Bloodlines, also getting the armor. Also have a 3rd castle before the 2nd castle. Or the 3rd castle for Capoch comes in. I mean, Capoch is still catching up on Vills right now. I think there's an argument that you need to just stop making Vills. When you see the opponents in Imp, you got to stop making Vills here. Here comes BacT. Mangudai do have a bonus for Siege, which separates them from Camel Archers. It's just a Mangonel, but still. Whoop! That's the problem. That's why I think Berbers need to win in Castle Age against Mongols, because if it becomes Mangudai and Siege, or Mangudai and Hussar, it can be a bit more problematic, I think, for the Berbers than you might think. Yeah, Arism, this is still the first set of the day, and this has been an awesome set. Thank you, Jacob, for the new sub. Appreciate it. Guys, if you want to support the channel, 100% of it goes towards me on this platform, and you can click the overview tab. There's a little supporter button. No promises on this, but there's actually ways that I could put, like, special stuff for my subs there. Since we can't do that in Discord, I might do something, but... And no promises there. If you want to support there. But thanks for just being here. This has been sick. Is that 4 castles, or did I lose count? 3 castles. Okay, 3 castles. And now he knows that there's a castle there for Capoch. So I think Capoch never expected BacT to have this Imp time. But he is going to Imp, and he has overtaken BacT with villagers now. And he's still making Camel Archers. So if you look at the amount on food, guys, it feels more realistic that Capoch could maybe switch into something other than just Camel Archers than maybe BacT. So it's just how they've treated their economies. Oh, wow. I didn't realize there was gold there. Does BacT know about that? Ooh, kind of. But, you know, I'm thinking that wood count right now for BacT is a bit of an issue. But he has opened up with Trebs. And that castle's a goner for Capoch. 100%. That's down. Because you just can't fight this army right now if you're Capoch. But I'd love to see, like, 5 or 6 stables behind this. And for BacT, I'd love to see that wood count turn into farmers. Pulling villagers off of wood and farming a lot would be the way. Hey, Richard, thanks for the sub. Thank you, Victor. Ventrue for the stars. Thank you, guys. Could really use masonry here. He might not have a university yet. That's a pretty basic thing. It's just to keep your castle up a bit longer. And if he doesn't have a university, he can't research ballistics either, which he doesn't have, which is huge for his camel archers. And he's making a castle behind this, but he's sending his army out, and ooh, okay. We actually have skirms being teched into by BacT. Here comes Capoch. I really hate the skirm choice. I think skirm's bad. Okay, so skirm's not bad because you're like probably thinking T90, camel archers wreck Mangudite, which is true. But I think you need to go with something that cannot be countered by their own light cap, which is what Capoch wants to go for. So I think with Mongols, you should just go for your own Hussar because they're a really good meat shield with 100 some HP. But the thought is definitely in BacT's mind that if this continues, the Berbers could dominate him, and he's dropping another castle now. But now you see the stables for Capoch. We'll see how much that does. There's pretty solid castle spots for BacT on the other side. But this is where it gets tricky, because Capoch needs to stop this from snowballing. Elite Mangudai's in. But he also needs to get some counter damage in. So I almost feel like he needs stables at home, and he needs stables on the front. Anyways, he has Bracer, again, has Ballistics now, too. He's getting Chemistry. He does not have Elite Camel Archer, but Camel Archers are great against Mangudai. And now we start to see the Light Cav choice for BacT. I like that. Maybe he just wanted a little bit of support for now, and then he's going to switch into Light Cav. I think Elite Mangudai with the skirms destroy right now, and as long as BacT continues to push forward with Trebs, man, Capoch is going to soon run out of castles. You know, when I saw this castle, there was a world where I understood it, but there's also reasons to question it. And those camel archers looking beefy, looking tough. 75 HP, guys. 75 HP, 7 base attack. This is a unit that's not even elite yet. I don't think we'll see elite for Capoch because it costs 1,000 wood and 1,000 food for elite, which is way too expensive. He cannot afford that right now. Ooh, okay. A lot of villagers on gold. He sees that. So killing some vills there. That said, still 50 on gold for BacT, which is amazing. Worth reminding everyone that Mongols do not get the final armor upgrade, which is a big deal for their skirms. Do not get the final armor upgrade for ranged units. So their skirms kind of melt, especially when firing uphill. Especially against a unit like the Camel Archer. Especially if that Camel Archer is combined with Light Cav, as we've mentioned. Some of the Light Cav are making it through, and Capoch is still holding. Capoch is starting to push back. Capoch is doing this. And again, just watch the skirms die. The skirms do so little. The skirms are just, they're a waste of pop space at this point. Don't mean to offend any skirmishers that are watching. You do matter, okay? But if you're in the game here, it just really, you don't. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Light Cav are killing villagers. The pressure is working on the other side. The non-elite camel archers are dealing with elite Mangudai. A castle goes down for BacT. BacT has all these resources. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? What's next on the list? He's going to go heavy camel. And so you do get heavy camel with the Mongols. But Mongols also lack the final armor upgrade on their cav. So the good thing about their Hussars is that their Hussars get more HP, but there's no specific camel bonus. I think he just wants a few camels on this side to stop the Light Cav from getting out of control, as we have a 1 villager. Dude, a 1 villager castle, Capoch? You're crazy, man. If anything, I feel like this is the time to make a castle over to the right, because you've secured this area. 1 villager castle seems like such a bad decision. But guys, I think Capoch is going to do this, you know. I really think he's going to do this. He's got more on food. He's got decent amounts on gold. He's got a crazy KD now. This castle was a waste. Drop it here. Drop a castle here. Drop a castle here. Control the game, Capoch. Take this late. Because now you're pushing back on the left side. What you want to stop BacT from doing is pushing you on the right while that happens. No, he's gonna actually castle this. He's that confident. Whoa. By the way, where's that guy that said 7 minutes into the game that Mongols are dead? Like, oh yeah, this map's dumb. Mongols are so strong. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I don't know what you sound like. You might sound a lot more angelic than that. What a game. What a series. Hussar now on the way for Capoch. This is still a weak area for him. He's still exposed over here. That will need to be dealt with. But now another castle goes down for BacT. And if BacT doesn't have Mangadai, he's going to be making units that can kind of be countered by Berber stable units, not even the Camel Archers. Oh my word. And this will get dealt with. Camel Archers swing over there. Ripperoni. He did lose 4 to a tiger, though. This is true. But at that point, if you lose 4 villagers to 1 tiger, it's not even a civ conversation. It's not even a strategy conversation. It's a how did that happen conversation. 1 in a million situation. Oh, man. What a crazy moment here. Again, camels, man. Looking pretty good. The Camel Archer's out of position. The Trevs have to pack up. And as they pack up, they will be shredded by the Mangadai. And BacT says, I'm not finished yet. 190 pop for both players. And all the Trebs go down. Oh, that hurts so much. Holy crap. And that's because his Camel Archers moved, guys. Like, we've seen multiple examples now where if that mass of either Mangadai or Camel Archers is out of position, bad things happen. And so I think, as I guess BacT had paused here, you know, again, this just takes me to a situation where I think with Elite Camel Archer now coming in, raids win this. More stables, more stable production win this, and you've got cheaper stable units of your Capoch. So, Hussar. You could even argue your own heavy camel. There's a lot of gold on this area, so I think that they need to fight for this, because they'll eventually run out of gold. Capoch has a lot on gold, but it'll run out faster than you think. It is double gold comp for BacT. He's going heavy camel, and he's going Mangadai. Whereas for Capoch, he's going just Camel Archer with Hussar, and Hussar does not cost gold. So really, all the... this is a really weird sports reference. I'm not even a basketball guy, but it's like the Camel Archers are Michael Jordan. And the Hussars are Scottie Pippen at this point. Basically, the Hussars exist... And this might be disrespectful to Scottie Pippen. I don't know. Again, I don't know basketball that well. I don't know why this came to my mind. But the Hussars exist to set up the Camel Archers to dominate. You guys could probably think of a lot better examples than I just gave. So this castle will go up for BacT, which is so nice against those raids. Just another castle for him, as this is probably the craziest game in the series, and it's game number 5. Don't disrespect Scotty like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, I chose the wrong sport. Chose the wrong sport, okay? And I'm thinking about long-term gold mining. There's a big old pile over here, but BacT needs to take it. I'm looking at blacksmith upgrades. It looks much better for Capoch. Bit of a weird spot to find himself in. I'm looking at the amount on food. It looks much better for Capoch. He's got Hussars in the queue. We see a fight, and I think the Camel Archers just destroy here. 8 base attack now, 80 HP. They do fire a little slower, though. He's got to be careful, because those camels, man, they will chew up anything if they get close enough. Again, a big difference we'll see here is that Mangadai shreds Siege, and Capoch backing away off the hill. He should lose both of these Trebs. He will lose both of these Trebs. That's a lot of gold going down the drain. He's almost out. He doesn't have this gold. He will lose those villagers on that stone. There's still so many opportunities. Okay, he's trying to raid that gold now. Feels like there's so many opportunities for a little bit of raiding for BacT now. Like Hussars here completely end a fourth, maybe I'm exaggerating, but a decent portion of Capoch's eco. Like, look what 3 Mangadai did. And we have a massive fight here. It's 70 army. That's something I should bring up. Against 50. So the numbers for BacT are doing it. But as I say it's doing it, I'm not so sure. There's no support. He doesn't have the amount on food he needs for Hussars. And now Capoch is pushing back. And Capoch has evened out the military numbers. And BacT still, he hasn't been mining this gold. He's adding the stables now, though. He needs to back up. He needs to get his Trebs out of here. Capoch will solidify this position with another castle, which now leaves him exposed to raids on this side. But he's sending his own Hussars over. It feels like this is the area that really has mattered, though, right? You've got 3 relics there for BacT. That's giving him a trickle of gold. Behind all this is where his farming eco is. And then he'll lose 2 castles if he loses this position as well. So, like, if this position is won by him, then he's fine. And it's the same for Capoch, you would think. Love this from Capoch, sending Hussars in, keeping BacT honest, forcing reactions from BacT. You never know, like, just one Hussar, if one Hussar is available, could kill 10 villagers. If it's freed up and not attacked by camels, for example, you try and split up your units. It's funny, though. We have Trebs over here now for BacT on this castle, but we have Trebs here from Capoch on this castle. So it's like both players are going to lose a castle. As again, this game is crazy, but I just haven't seen the skirms do anything. That's my worry. If you've got 20 skirms on the field, those skirms are useless right now. I think it comes down to pure population efficiency. And Hussar Camel Archer is the most efficient population, or most efficient way to use your population if you're Capoch. Now, I guess there's no Hussars here, so the skirms gets a little teensy bit of value. But look, then 11 pop is completely wasted because a few Hussars show up. And this confidence from Capoch is because he realizes how good this is for him. He's gonna just pack up his Trebs, move him over, and go for this castle now. I'll tell you what, though, he needs a little bit more in the way of Hussars here. Just a teensy bit more. A few Hussars coming in, patrolling it with his Camel Archers. He's focus firing, guys. He's focusing down the Mangudai. In fact, you could just sit right up against the Mangudai if you want to do that here. He's got 27 Camel Archers. There's 32 Mangudai. He's not going after the castle right now. He's going after the Trebs from BacT. BacT doesn't have stone. Oh, no. You got to take the castle. Still, though, the population lead is there for Capoch. This is the most back-and-forth post-stimp crazy game we've seen in the tourney, probably. Granted, okay, I take that back. There's been some crazy ones. But on this map, one of the few games we've seen go to imp. And now Hussars are going to dive in for those Trebs as Capoch, again, just needs to focus down the castle. And the Vil count for BacT has plummeted over the last few moments. Again, I mentioned, if you just get through one time, crazy things can happen. And what happens here is, you know, he now has, he'll look at it. No, this is over. That's what happens. This is over. 140 pop for BacT. This raid needs to do an awful lot, but Capoch seems to be waiting for it. I think he can hold against that. And the Mangudai number's too low. The Hussar number's not high enough. The production isn't there. Still only 1 Treb for Capoch, but Capoch says, I don't care. I'll run right into the heart of your eco. I said 3-1 for BacT going into this set. Capoch was the 5th seed. I was like, well, he's extremely active. He got a good rating on the ladder, but Capoch, you know, in my mind, just wasn't good enough to beat someone like BacT, who 3-0'd the max. BacT is, like, been a top 16 player for years. Also extremely good on Nomad. What a fighter Capoch is. Look at this. He finds this area. Still pressuring the castle. BacT's got so much to pay attention to. And he will know that this is the final game. He'll know it's a best of 5. He's probably thinking about the Tiger right now. He'll have nightmares about that Tiger tonight. Guarantee it. But this is where the game gets close to finish. This is where the game ends. If that castle drops, all of this can be hit by Hussars. He doesn't have the army anymore. He doesn't have the units. What a ridiculous series. And I normally wouldn't be calling it, but there's no way that BacT can actually do anything to counter. It's all react, react, react. Maybe if the Civ matchup was different. If it was flip-flop, then I'm like, well, he's Berbers. He's got Camel Archers, but no, he's got Mangudai. And I think Skirm was a really poor choice. Skirm didn't do anything offensive for him here. It didn't offer much of a meat shield. Maybe if you get the final armor upgrade and you're another Civ going Skirm makes sense here. But I would have really liked to see the player who is faster to imp start raiding with the Hussars, the 100 HP Mongol Hussars. But, of course, it's so easy for us to say as we sit here in our chairs or on our couches. You say, well, I just don't lose villagers to tigers. Easy. I honestly, though, as we look at this, and he's just now getting Parthian, which is a crucial upgrade that I didn't realize he was missing. Another reason why the Mangudai has struggled. I honestly feel like BacT would have won this game if it wasn't for losing those 4 vills, though. And BacT respectfully says, GG, good luck next. And that is the conclusion of round of 16 is Capoch. We'll move on to the quarterfinals. At what point do we stop underestimating Capoch? You know? Like, I feel like there's been a few instances where this, what is he, mid-30s now? This 30-year-old has come back to Age of Empires 2, and we've just been like, yeah, no, his seed's overrated. Nah, you know, he's not going to make it in. Because, you know, he's just maybe not as quick as some of these other guys. But man, his ability to fight his way out of tough situations is just second to none. Like, there were situations in this game where it looked really bad. There's situations in the game 2 where he won look bad. Same with game 4. And he makes it out. He makes it out. He makes it happen. The game face works. Capoch moves on to the quarters. BacT is out. That is an upset. And that is a ridiculous set. But again, as we think back to this game, I don't know what minute it was. Was it like 14 minutes? It was, sorry, I went a little too far. Like, watch this again, okay? So the whole time I'm screaming, like, get loom, get loom, get loom, right? At this point, he proved me wrong because he only lost 1 villager without getting loom. And he says, I'm going to get loom when I reach Feudal, which is a very safe time to do that. So, guys, loom is on the way, all right? Loom is on the way. I know that we can be critical of this, but this is also one of the most unfortunate things you'll just, like, ever see in competitive Age. Loom on the way. Wait, did he cancel loom? Or did he get loom? Oh my god, wait a second. Wait. He canceled loom and then re-queued it, which I don't know why. It might have been a mistake. But now he queues loom again. And so loom could have been in. It's now on the way. And at this point, he's got a lead. He's pressuring. And the Tiger kills 4 villagers. And it's like, the timing on loom is just hilarious. Loom comes in right after all those villagers die. Oh my word. And if you think of how much control he had in Feudal Age, he controlled that game the entirety of the way through Feudal Age. So, if he didn't lose those 4 villagers, he would then have had a vill lead. He would have made it to Castle Age, probably faster, and then, you know, maybe been to Mangadai faster, maybe been to Imp faster. Everything snowballs from there. But losing 4 villagers when you're at 20 is like losing a fourth of your economy. And he lost it because, oh, good pickup on chat. He probably skipped loom for another second so he could get the man-at-arm upgrade. And the only, like, he had these villagers, and some of them were relatively strong, but he sent the 4 weakest right there, and the Tiger was there the whole time, just like, oh god, it hurts to see. Anyways, guys, we're going to have more sets. Congratulations to Capoch. BacT, I think you could say, should look back at game number freaking 4. Like, Goths on Inundation. The Tiger thing's one thing, but Goths on Inundation, I literally said it when he lost the game. I'm like, we're going to look back at this series and say, why would you do that? And that's what happened.